7 Modus Super Series champion.
Talking about, oh my goodness, how about that? Double 7 for the match to finish it off beautifully. Beautifully pinned. It's been a beautiful game. The Hinks to win for Worley. Oh, just as Gilbert was left on a finish to send himself through.
Mustard, and that's pretty mustard as well.
Good evening and welcome to Portsmouth for the Modus Super Series. Yep, it is the sporting city of the moment, and we will see who is going to be the latest player through to Champions Week come the end of May here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. It's been good fun. There's been some thrills. There's been some thrills, and we've been watching every single dart in the company of Mace the Ace, Chris Mason. I remember we were sitting together on Monday morning discussing the 6 days that are ahead of us, and we both said this could be really, really quality action. We saw some quality action.
Yeah, I think the way Group A panned out, we had 6 players of similar rhythm and tempo, and they almost played to their best. Each and then every one of the players at some point produced somewhere near their A game.
Well, let's have a look at the runners and riders as far as tonight's final is concerned. These are the players that are going to be in action. We've got the 2 Harrys, we've got the 2 Johns, and we've got Kieran and Gilbert as well in action. Well, it's the 2 Harrys that I think have probably been the 2 standout players as far as we're concerned. Harry Gregory winning that Group A, and Harry Ward, who has been so impressive over the course of 5 days.
Yeah, very, very good, but not the best player this week. The best player this week is Gilbert Vander Meijden, statistically. He's been outstanding, and it's very rare we come to a finals night, but I can genuinely make a case for each and every player in tonight's finals to win it. Every one of those players at some point has produced a game or a performance that makes me feel that if they get it right tonight, a bit of good fortune here and there, maybe take advantage of the odd missed double, every player here tonight can win it.
Well, Group A was won by Harry Gregory on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. It was a tight affair. The top 3 all on 20 points in the end. In fact, it was a 4-horse race towards the line as it went into the final day, but Lee Cox unable to make its way through that particular field. What about Harry Gregory in that Group A that impressed you so much?
And the fact that he's a young man and he's an improving player. Every time we see him or every time I have a look over his stats from whether he be on the Challenge Tour or on the Dev Tour, he seems to slowly but steadily improving, and I much prefer a player that does that than rather, bursts onto the scene and is unable to maintain that level. And he's going to come in tonight very, very confident. I spoke to him a little earlier. He's enjoyed a couple of days off, had a practice yesterday, and he looks fresh. He looks ready to go. And
his ton plus finishing this week was superb.
Yeah, 10 in Group A. There was 32 in there, so he nearly had a third of the ton plus finishes on his own, and that could be key to victory tonight.
Well, that was Group A. The players then divvied up into Groups B and C. Group B was what we were watching in the evening sessions on Thursday and Friday, and this was how things ended up. Harry Ward, the convincing winner in the end on 14 points.
Yeah, just dropped the one leg in the 2 sessions, and yeah, very, very good. And as I expected, he was going to be one of those, very much like John O'Shea, that was going to play himself into form. Not played a great deal of darts of late, didn't play at Q School, so no Challenge Tour. And in fact, the only recorded darts we can find are from the last time he played here in 2023.
And from that last appearance to here, we have seen that improvement too.
Yeah, he's steadily got better, or maybe not got better, but more consistent. Yeah. He looks more assured about his game. He looks more confident.
Kieran Teehan, before we saw him at the beginning of the week, we were wondering where his career was at. Maybe a little bit of a crossroads as far as his darting life and times are concerned. But what we've seen this week is a massive step in the right direction from him.
Yeah, I listened to an interview that the viewers will get to listen to in a moment with Phil Bars with Kieran, and I'd wondered what had happened between the last time he played on the Challenge Tour and here. And he explains that he's played in some local stuff with some success and starting to put the hours in, and that shows, because I think he's been outstanding. I feared the worst for him coming into this, especially the group he was playing in, but credit to him, I thought he was outstanding, averaged over 90 for the course of 2 nights.
Well, the other player that made their way through was Gilbert Vander Meijden, and he was ultra impressive throughout the course of the week, and at the end, that 106 average in the final game, that was immaculate.
Yeah, and he was under pressure, and that tells me a lot about him and his character, and and his reliability under pressure, because he potentially could have been out. But credit to him, 106 average against a very good Kieran Teehan as well, who averaged over 92 himself and was immaculate on the doubles.
Well, Group C was the other group we were watching on Thursday and Friday. This was in the afternoon sessions. This is how the table ended up, and it was quite convincing in the end for the top two, but a word for Jamie Atkins, who played so well.
Yeah, he's a player I can't wait to see back. I think he's more than done enough to get at least a crack at a Group B or a Group C, or if it works out for him, a full week and start in Group A. He's got something about him. I think we're going to see more and more from that man.
Well, fingers crossed. Right, the player who won the group was John O'Shea. You were mentioning a few seconds ago, a player that really grew as the week went along.
Yeah, just dropped one match in what was a decent quality group. It has to be said, with some great players in there, like you've mentioned, players like Jamie Atkins. So to go through that group, just dropping one match, he'll come in tonight a confident man. As we found out on Monday, he's slightly changed his throw. Same barrels, slightly longer stem, a slightly different drawback of the dart, and it took him a while, but my goodness, once he found his mark, produced an average of 109 and very nearly backed that up with a 111 average in his very next game, albeit if he'd have hit double 18.
As far as John Worley is concerned, very good first day, but will be disappointed with day two.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what went wrong on day two. I've not spoke to John whether he was feeling a little under the weather or it just didn't click for him. That can happen, and I think when you have such a good day and you know the job's done, winning that one game is always difficult. I know, I've been there. And yeah, he just didn't seem switched on. And I believe John's a player that he needs some jeopardy to get the best out of him. He needs to feel that adrenaline coursing through the veins. And I just don't think it was there for him on day two.
Well, one of the themes of the week was ton-plus finishing. Well, we really did have them in spades over the course of the last 5 days. As you can see, 70 for this week so far, and that is already more than any completed week that we've seen. Week 6 we thought was good with 68. How far can we get to tonight?
It wouldn't surprise me if we've seen another 10 tonight. It's that type of week and it's that type of group of players, and yeah, that outstanding. It really has been one of the great Super Series weeks.
And amazingly enough, we've even found grass around the live lounge in Portsmouth. Right, let's preview tonight in a little bit more detail and show the groups that are in play this in. We know the 6 that are going to be playing, but how they're going to be playing and who they're going to be playing. So Group 1 sees Harry, Gregory, Kieran Teehan and John Worsley in action, whilst Group 2 sees Harry Ward, John O'Shea and Gilbert Vander go toe. So what's your overall assessment of those two groups?
Yeah, I mean, they're equally as tough. I think Harry, Gregory and John Worsley are the most likely to come out of Group 1. I mean, I've been super impressed with Teehan, but I think he's going to have to maybe find just something a little bit more. Group 2, well, that's a bit of a minefield, isn't it? Like I said, I can make a case for every single individual in either of those groups to take away the title tonight.
Well, let's have a look and go a bit deeper into tonight's action. We're going to show the odds and also the averages for the players over the course of the last 6 days or so. So Harry Ward goes in the favourite, averaging 90.94 for the week. John Worsley, second favourite. But the player who is the outsider, Gilbert Vander 13-2, has the highest running average of the week. And remember, he played the 5 days with that 92.66.
Yeah, my tip, wasn't it? 9:30 a.m. Monday morning when we looked at the prices for the potential weekly winner. He was down there at 22-1, and 92.66 for 5 days of play is absolutely right up there. That's world-class stuff, and I'm certainly not going to change my mind on it. I don't know how they've come up with the same odds to win tonight as Kieran Teehan, yet as you can see on that graphic, a far superior number over a longer period.
When you look at it generically, do you think the bookies are priced this wrong?
Yeah, I think they've had it wrong all week. They had O'Shea favourite for Monday. I wasn't having that at all. I think that was more reputation. The Harry Ward, they sort of got right in the end. But again, I think they price it up on reputation rather than what they're achieving on that stage. And they probably don't look as deep as us, although I know they look through the stats available. But yeah, for me, value, whether he wins it or not, I'm not so sure. But in terms of value, you can't ignore that when you look at the numbers.
You say tonight's such an evenly weighted affair. What do you think the key differences could be on that stage?
Experience, and Harry Ward, John O'Shea played at the highest level. Of course, John O'Shea only recently lost his tour card in January. And again, you look at the ceilings of each and every one of the players. they all seem to have some big numbers in the locker.
Ready for some darts?
I can't wait.
Well, let's get it underway then. Finals night is about to get underway here at the Modus Super Series. We're going to see Gregory in action. He was the winner of Group A on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, taking on John Worley, the runner-up of Group C yesterday afternoon. Well, Gregory is refreshed after a couple of days away. Both players, though, caught up with Phil Bars early on this evening.
John, here we are, Saturday night at the Super Series, and it wouldn't be a finals night if the Womble wasn't here. Yet again, you've got through.
Yeah, I played really well on Thursday and won 5 out of 5. But yesterday, I don't think I played bad. It just didn't go my way. Some massive finishes. So, yeah, I'm here. That's the main thing.
When you've won 5 out of 5 on one day, is the pressure off going into that Friday? Because you're almost there.
People think that, but then the first game I come out and I think it was 101 average and the kid had 103. So then the pressure's on the next game because you need to get that next win. And I scraped home. So, yeah, the pressure was still on all day.
I remember last time you were here and we were speaking to you that you were saying you didn't know where your game was because you had lots going on away from darts. Obviously, fast forward to now, where is the Worsley game?
I would say around 70%, I think. I'm getting there. I'm putting a bit more practice in. I'm losing weight and I feel good in myself. So if everything clicks, yeah, I'm dangerous. Your experience on finals night, do you think that could be key this evening? Because there's a lot of inexperience in that practice room as well. Youth and experience, a bit of a blend. I hope so. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, obviously experience is going to help a little bit, but they're all good players, so anything can happen. Champions night, what would it mean to get there this year? That's what I'm here for. That's what I want. So yeah, let's go for it. John, wish you all the very best head of play, mate. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Harry, here we are, finals night. How excited are you to be up on that stage in front of fans this evening?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I had a good first 3 days. Hopefully we can keep up for tonight. I mean, this is a big one. This is one that I want to win.
That Group A campaign, different days from you. Did you take inspiration from all of them, the fact you did all parts of the game well across those days?
I mean, yeah, I'm used to playing in the morning, so I'm kind of got into a routine, and luckily that helped me.
Finishing was key, took out some monster ton pluses. Did you feel that every time you were on one of those 110s to 120s that these are going to go?
I mean, yeah, I used to be really good at them, but then it kind of dropped off. I mean, the 2 dart combinations throughout the week as well were going in perfectly, but the ton plus finishes, I mean, every time they went in, I mean, I felt like I couldn't miss. Your journey here at the Super Series, every time there's been gradual improvement, so you must be delighted. And is the next step getting your hands on that trophy? I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, all the other lads are here to win, so am I, so I better give them a challenge. What have you done in the 2 days off? Rested, or have you still kept the arm loose? Definitely resting. I mean, you could use the break, but I'm glad to be back tonight. And just looking at that room, packed full of talent, who's your biggest rivals tonight? Whoever I play, whoever's in front of me. And we've seen you do some great things in the youth game. What would it mean to lift that trophy in a few hours' time? I mean, it'd mean the world to me. I mean, this would definitely be my biggest trophy, so hopefully I can do it. Harry, wish you all the very best this evening. Thank you.
First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper?
And the games are about to begin here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And it isn't playtime anymore, as you see the Womble and the Hawk go toe-to-toe. Both will be hoping to be animals on that stage and lifting the big trophy at around about 11 o'clock tonight. That will also come with a place at Champions Week, where we already have an Elite 7. They're already there. So watching the first game of the evening session, Chris Mason's made his way to the commentary box alongside Phil Bars. Evening, Phil.
Good afternoon, Henry. Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the Modus Super Series. Finals night is always a special occasion. Myself and Mace talking you through the action, and Chris, this could be one of the best finals we've had.
Yeah, it's teed up to be, well, it has been one of the best weeks statistically. We've got a great lineup of players, starting with Group 1, the 6 qualifying players splitting to 2 groups of 3. They will play each other once in the respective
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
groups.
First leg, Harry to through first.
The top 2 from each group will progress to our semi-finals. And, well, the perfect opening dart.
83.
Now, John Worley had a fabulous day on Thursday. Didn't back it up on the Friday, but we've seen that a few times before, Phil, haven't we? Where you, well, I did it myself.
94.
You get the job done effectively on day one, and you know you're just a game away from securing your place.
Yeah, you go into that second day thinking 2 more points on my
57.
and I'm there, but that can be the hardest 2 points.
It is tough because you keep saying to yourself, all right, I'll do it in the next one, and then the pressure builds, and then there's an element of embarrassment, strangely.
Yeah, you kind of look at the guys at the bottom of the table and you think, oh, I beat him, I'll beat him, and but you lose to one, then you lose to one of the guys around you, then all of a sudden that pressure builds.
100.
You start to see your lead getting swallowed up. Well, this week, John Worley, over the course of his 2-day qualifying
60.
campaign, had a running average of 91.09. Gregory, 91.19, so very little between them.
55.
We're at it. Better welcome everybody into the YouTube chat room, and welcome along to the many thousands of you that tune in via your chosen bookmaker app.
140.
And also, if you want to get in touch via our social medias, at MSS Darts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
174.
Twitter.
John Carr 67.
But yeah, if you've got any questions for myself or Phil Bars, stick it in the chat room. Keep it respectful, keep it sensible, and more than anything, sit back and enjoy the action. If you are having a bet, don't come on the chat and moan about it. It's your responsibility.
It's a fabulous start from Harry Gregory. That first one looked as if it blocked part of the bed, but the young man found one over the top.
Yeah, something he's been very, very good at this week. Those real small, minuscule adjustments which tend to tell you where a player's game is and the amount of practice that's been put in.
134.
Yeah, but John, I feel there was a missed opportunity there. That dart at tops to break early wasn't really close.
125.
The pressure builds on your own throw then because you overthink the situation, thinking, I should be one up against the darts here.
85. $92.
It's quite a robotic throw of John Wires, isn't it? It's very regimented in the set,
58.
in the pullback.
Yeah, I think that stems from having the yips at some point. So he developed a way of just getting rid of that by
58.
straightening the arm and being quite aggressive. And then he found a way to, that little lockout there allows him to get into one motion, which is the secret to overcoming the dreaded yips. Something you went through, pal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know that feeling also well, but I still have a good practice session with Jamie
60.
Kelling, and I can play with the best for under no pressure, but as soon as someone says game on, that treble 12's in danger.
In danger for me at the moment.
97.
I'll pick
John
them up in a
Carr,
while.
164.
Playing Tuesday night. Tom Smith, evening, Phil and Chris. Hope all is well. Yep, we're having a fabulous time and anticipating a wonderful night of action here at the Super Series. We will keep you up to speed with
60.
everything happening over on the
129.
Euro Tour. We'll give you an update at the start of the next leg.
85. John Carr 104.
So 104 for a level game, but Gregory is sat there waiting. Has to find treble 19. Doesn't. So Harry Gregory has carved an
64.
opportunity here.
John Carr 44.
And it is 2-0. Big moment there, Chris.
Yeah, finishing very tidy. 2 from 5, 40%.
Third leg, Harry to through
Both players
first.
averaging
Game
in
on.
the mid-80s yet so far this evening. Gary Anderson had a very good win over Christian Perez. Gezi Price 6-1 against Dolan. A bit of
95.
revenge from the Worlds there, Phil. And it was a big average as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, just the casual 110 from the Iceman.
Michael Smith and Barney had a cracker. Went to the wire. Michael Smith taking out 83 with
90.
Barneveld on a finish to win it 6-5. And Hetta leads Mansell 5-2. Still to come. Rob Cross against an informed Schindler who won last
125.
weekend and started his campaign with a big average of 108 plus, wasn't it?
German number 1 now as well has overtaken Gabriel Clements in the rankings.
And then MVG against the impressive Engstrom.
60.
And then it's a repeat of the World Final. Humphreys against Littler, and then Prochetsky against the German giant Gabriel Clemens. Like I said, we'll keep you up to speed
60.
with everything as it happens.
Yeah, and game 1 here of our finals. This is getting dangerous for John Worsley right now, because
Yeah.
if this goes 3-0, he's in danger of getting cut adrift, and we all know
100.
that leg difference is huge.
Oh, Prince of Wales, Ilkeston, Charlotte. There you go. Look, that's Ash and Anne Marie. They've brought their son Eston down
57.
for a night of the darts. How about that? 2 of my regulars. That is, well, 3 of them, almost 3 of my regulars. David Mack, Chris Mason. Hi, mate. We're all
60.
waiting to see
Audio
you in a
card
Modus title next. Been there, done
164.
that, mate. Ticked off.
But you're just a commentator. Fabulous board
132.
management there from Harry Gregory. Didn't get sucked in to having a go at the big finish. Just tees up double 16. And all of a sudden, finals night is going dangerously wrong for John Worsley in game 1.
And he's felt that
85.
before, hasn't he?
Audio card
It is so
52.
cutthroat. They're used to. No, I mean, I know this isn't knockout darts, but this is as close as damn it. And the pressure is totally different when you get on that stage.
Fourth leg, John to through first. Game on.
Damon Hetta has just seen off Mickey Mansell with 117.48 average.
And that's why I've been screaming from the rooftops about Hetta. Because that's what he has. He has a seriously high ceiling. Yet to really do it
55.
on the TV. Although I do class these European tours, I watch them on my TV.
140.
Gray 1965. Hi, Chris. Can you say evening to Graham, Chris, and Aaron? Well, there you go. Nearly a max.
123.
And like you say, you lose 4-0. Even if you win your next game 4-0, you're not guaranteed, are you?
Again, I'm just looking at the way the
100.
fixtures go as well, and it doesn't go in the favour of John Worsley, because ideally, if you get thumped in this one, you then want Harry Gregory to play the next game and win, so you go into that last game as a shootout.
Yeah. That's not going to be the
55.
scenario if he gets beat here and gets beat heavily. Does have his kids here supporting him this evening and some friends and family.
140.
But unfortunately, Harry Gregory's 121 away from serving a bagel.
Yeah, 94.15, Phil. Very, very tidy indeed. And as I already mentioned right at the top, average 91.19 for the week, and he's up around those kind of numbers.
Yeah, and John's left a bogey number, so this doesn't even have to go. He's just going to tee this up. And
81.
you and I were talking before we went on air, and I had some question marks around Harry. Not what he'd done during the week, but going from playing with no crowd to an atmosphere in here, but he's just handled everything.
97.
Yeah, and
Audio
it was
card 40.
a good shout as well, because it is very, very different. Tops to seal it and get 1 foot in tonight's semi-final, and in it goes a 15 dart leg to get over the line. Disappointment for John Worsley. An end average, well, very, very close indeed to his weekly numbers. 91.19 for the week. He opens the show with a 91.09, 4 out of 9 on the doubles, 3 140s, and a high finish of 44. Well, we go to Group 2 in our next game as Harry Ward takes on Gilbert Vander Meijden.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break we saw Harry Gregory get his campaign off to the perfect start, getting the better of John Worley by 4-0 with an average in excess of 91. The Hawk is also almost there in terms of qualification through to the semi-finals after just one game being played. Right, we'll park Group 1 for now. We're going to kickstart Group 2, and we're going to see Harry Ward in action. Big H, who's using the Super Series as his platform for darting success in 2024, and he's a player that has been growing into the week here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. He takes on Gilbert Vander, who averaged 106 last night in qualifying through Group B. Both these players actually coming through that particular group. Should be an intriguing second match of the session. And before the action got underway, Phil Bars caught up with both players.
Gilbert, welcome to Saturday night here at the Super Series finals night. Been here since Monday. How would you assess your week so far?
Yeah, for me it feels very good to be here in a Saturday night. Yeah, for me it's great. Give me a lot of confidence boost with a lot of players in the Group A and Group B. Yeah, good players. So yeah, make a confidence boost for me. I
want to take you back to that Group A campaign. It was a real four-way scrap to see who was going to win it, and you played some really good stuff. Did you take a lot of confidence that into your Group B campaign?
Yeah. I was more relaxed than at the stage that I was beyond last time. So yeah, the Group A for me was like 92 average or something. So yeah, it feels very good in the Group B, and I was happy that I turned it over the line in the last game. So yeah.
Well, you touched on it, that pressure in that last game. What was it like building up to that game, knowing that you had to win?
Yeah, and for me, in my opinion, it was a not needable win, you know. So I was not thinking I need 2 legs. I watched it back and I see it was 2 legs. But in my head, it was a needable win. And yeah, that's why I was so happy. And it was a little bit nervous game. But there was also the first game against Mike Gillett. Yeah, that was for me a must-win game. And that makes me a little bit nervous on the stage. And that, when I get more experience, then I'm more used that more, you know.
Tonight, how important is this first game for you? Because it's only 2 games in the group stage, so is winning important so you're not chasing going into that last game?
Yeah, the first game is really important, but when I lost maybe 4-3 or something, I still got the 3 legs, so that gives me more confidence in the next game. So yeah, I go for the win, but you never know.
Gilbert, wish you all the very best to see. Thank you very much.
Mate.
Harry, welcome to Saturday night finals night here at the Super Series. Played some really good stuff across your 2 group campaigns. You must be here full of confidence right now.
Yeah, dead pleased. Obviously, Group A missed out on legs, but in a way that's a good thing for me because I know I needed the other 2 days. I've played myself into some form, and I feel confident.
You touched on it there when we spoke early on in the week. You said, "Look, I am short of practice, but I'm going to play myself into form." Has it gone according to plan?
Yeah, of course. I think I have got better. I've focused more. You get used to the stage, and you know how you're playing. And my practice in the back room's been getting better. Thursday, I literally walked in Thursday, no word of a lie. In 5 minutes, I'd gone 180, 180, 141, 180, so 12 perfect darts. I thought, I'm playing really well. And that gave me some confidence. And that just comes with playing more. And like I say, gutted we're not getting through Group A, but the best thing that could have happened to me, really. The
form you're showing, is this the Harry Ward form that won the Pro Tour?
I think so. Obviously, you need a bit of luck as well, but I'm just solid. I feel confident, and if I went out in the group tonight, I'd still be pleased with how I've played this week, and take it on the chin because I'm playing some really good stuff, and I'm just relaxed. I'm not expecting anything really, so I'm just happy.
Across the night, we've seen the explosive stuff. And we've seen the substandard stuff. Is it all about consistency tonight? If you can average somewhere between 85 and 93 across the whole night, will that be enough to win?
Of course, yeah. Like I say, a bit of luck as well. But I think over the Group B, I can't imagine my average being much less than like 90, 91. I felt like I played really, really good stuff. And, you see people win weeks with less than that. So, as I say, a bit of luck tonight and my own game and my confidence being high. You never know. I could win this, yeah.
Harry, wish you all the very best, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Ball. Beautifully pinned. It's been a beautiful game.
Played on a board of numbers.
For 127, that's superb. It's the Hinks. Well, these two were star performers in Group B on Thursday and Friday evening. They played the full 5 days. It's going to be a 6th meeting of the week between Harry Ward and Gilbert Vander Meijden. They could have a 7th in the final a little bit later on. We know Harry Ward's in good form this week, and Gilbert Vander Meijden is already in good form tonight. Watching this one in the commentary box, it's Phil Bars and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Henry. Yeah, good form indeed. Well, we've eventually, Barzy, had a 9-darter on a Saturday night.
We've had a 9 on a Saturday. We've got a perfect view of the Oki here, and in his practice starts, Gilbert actually pinned the 9, and him and Harry had a little chuckle to each other about it.
Yeah, and interesting in that interview with you, he said he felt like he'd averaged sort of like 91 for the week. Well, pretty much exactly that, 90.94 for the week. Gilbert Vander Meijden, 92.66 for the week. Very, very good indeed, especially when you consider
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Harry
he's
through
played
first.
23 matches this week.
That's good going. That's some average, and he is going to be tough to beat this evening. And just look at this one. This is probably the worst game possible for these two looking at it, because they don't want to play each other. Arguably last game of the group, not first.
Yeah. The one good thing is because they have been
58.
competing all week, they know each other's game inside out. They'll be very comfortable with each other on stage. Harry Ward just got something about him, and there's just that bit of quality about his playing.
He's got a lovely demeanour around him as well. He just seems calm under pressure as well.
99.
Yeah, agreed. If we go all the way back, you may hear my notes rustling around.
81.
More notes, Barzy. Dear, oh dear. I do use recycled paper, by the way.
94.
Harry and Gilbert met for the first time in the final
136.
game of Monday's session, and it was a comprehensive win on Monday, 4-0 for Gilbert. Guess what? Instant revenge Tuesday morning, 4-0 for Harry. As we get our first max of the match.
Game shown on the first
Mattered
leg.
not.
Harry Ward.
Leg 1 in the ledger in 14
Gilbert
darts
through first.
for Harry
Game on.
Ward. And he looks like he means business right now.
On Wednesday, it was a 4-2 win for Gilbert with 102.63 average.
$92.
Both players made their way through to Group B, finishing in second and third positions respectively.
43.
On Thursday night, 4-1 for Harry. And then 4-3 to
84.
Harry on Friday. Both matches in Group B, very tidy.
Yeah, I just think that there's not going to be a lot between these two
137.
in this game, and the Joker will be in the practice room hoping that they take it out of each other.
Absolutely. Take lumps out of each other. Leave all their best starts
96.
in the opening game. That will be the hope.
Also as well, going back into the chat room. Good evening, Dan,
92.
from my SBAT days. Hope you are well, my friend. Good to hear from you.
From your what days?
SBAT, remember when we first started doing this before, when we were at Live Darts?
Yeah.
SBAT was the company that Katina bought.
Ah, right, yeah.
100. How do you
I can remember
49.
coming to the offices and
It was a good day, that.
yeah, it was a good day.
The name never caught on, though. Creme de la Prem. Remember it well?
Yes.
It's actually a
33.
good segment.
Go to your car, 70.
Linda Elliott, Euros on TV, Modus on the laptop. Perfect night's viewing. We're doing the very same here.
38. How do you car,
Gilbert has
16.
missed an opportunity there, and Harry Ward can step in and break. work off of that either side. Surely just a little bump off the barrel, but he's over adjusted. Is that an opportunity passed up from Harry Ward?
Sure is.
Game shot on the
No
second
mistake
leg.
at all.
Gilbert Vander Meijden.
From Gilbert Vander Meijden. One apiece.
Third leg, Harry to throw first.
Always
Game
had
on.
the feeling of this being a tight one. 180 apiece. Averages of 90.19 for Gilbert, 93 for Harry.
85.
I know we're only early into this, but Harry Ward 1 from 6, only 16%. He's 1-1 when
45.
he should be 2-0 to the good.
Yeah, I don't think he's the kind of player that will dwell on that. He seems to be a very level-headed player, and
90.
he can forget very quickly, and especially in this sport, that's a massive attribute.
60.
That's the key, isn't it? You look at the best players; they forget misses, and the new leg, move on, forget the past.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done. I used to really struggle with
25.
dwelling for a leg or two, especially in set play, because you do have that time to just think, why didn't I hit that double?
57.
But in the scoring department at the moment, Gilbert's struggling. He's come up dry in each of his 3 turns in this third leg.
96.
And that's been a feature of his group campaign, that the scoring power was right up there. Like, he's used them all up. Hitting the 9 in the opener.
140.
Yeah, he has.
Car 105.
Left all his juice on the beach. I'll be on that beach week tomorrow.
Game shot on the
Lovely
third leg.
finish.
Harry Ward.
And 105 out for a 15-dart hold and a 2-1 lead.
Fourth leg, Gilbert to throw first.
Guys, Chris,
Game
I
on.
watched the Greece final and they turned the board upside down. No money there. Needs must.
100.
Each to their own.
Don't go to the Scottish Open, you'll be awfully disappointed.
But you touched on it there, Harry, putting that leg behind him straight away. Tidy in 15, a nice clinical 105 finish. No thought of the previous leg whatsoever.
125.
Yeah, and he's just doing enough on throw to keep Gilbert at arm's length.
135.
In these short format best of 7 games, having the throw is pivotal, because the chances to break are so limited.
Yeah.
60.
My best ever game on TV, Corey Baxter asks. Well, it wasn't on TV in its entirety because it was stage 2 at the... Oh, hello.
108.
It's touching.
Touching. Yeah, it was on stage 2, so they kept cutting back and forth to it because it was such a good game against Adrian Lewis, and I think he averaged 108 and I
56.
averaged 112.52.
146.
And I think that was a 20-legger, 11-9.
At 180 was huge.
Yeah.
Not just the fact it's a maximum, the fact it left a finish as well.
And Gilbert was looking like he was going to sneak up and break. He may do.
120. Harioka 88.
How big will that miss turn out to be, Phil?
Yeah, 88 for 3-1. 18 for Bull. He's missed a big number. Criminal. So unlike Harry Ward as well. He shakes his head in disbelief.
72. Gilbert car 40.
Didn't get a chance at the ball. And Gilbert comes back looking at tops to level up.
Shot on the fourth leg.
2-all.
Gilbert Vander Meijden.
And you just look back at the opportunities in this game. Harry Ward
Fifth leg,
and
Harry
Phil
to
to
throw first.
himself.
Game on.
He should have been off. It could have been 4-zip.
$95. $60.
Just looking at the numbers, Chris, the gap in the averages is huge, yet we're level. Harry Ward's third maximum of this contest. The power scoring from Big H has been huge.
140.
Gap in the numbers is huge. 10 points. 99 playing 89. But the important stat, Phil. 2-2.
83.
Absolutely. And Gilbert needs at least a 2 treble visit here. That's not going to happen. So
93.
Big H has
On your
got
card,
6 at 143. This is one of those nice finishes as well. That if he hits the 2 trebles, he'll take it on because it's not a dart at the ball. It's a dart double 16.
111.
And they're the nice ones, mate. The 2 big trebles for a nice double 16.
Yeah, absolutely. You can really attack.
134. Out of your car, 32.
A little bit of pressure from Gilbert. Really is a back and forth kind of game.
Game shot on the 5th flag.
Hodges back in front for a 3rd time. Tom Bennett said, is that an old Phil Taylor dart Gilbert is using?
Game on.
It's a similar grip style, but I don't think it's a Taylor dart.
Definitely not a Taylor dart.
No.
Just having a look there. But just
58.
looking interesting, Harry Ward's winning legs 14, 15 and 14. That's world class.
It is world class. Well, he's forcing his opponent to find 12s against throw every time.
Look, and we all know that's impossible. You might pop in the odd 12 against the throw, but to do that leg in, leg out, it's impossible.
Yeah, at this level.
Yeah, if you're doing 12s against the throw, then with the greatest respect in the world, you'll be on the Euro Tour right now.
Yeah.
Seeded.
He'll be playing Rob Cross or Martin Schindler, who are currently 3-1 to Schindler. He's riding the crest of a wave right now. And we do often say that when a player lifts that first title, one or two things happen. Either nothing happens or they go on a run like Luke Humphries did after picking up his first major title, where Andrew Gilding, his game has regressed massively. I mean, prior, we said we've had discussions
77.
about Gilding, and we were far from shocked that he won a title because he was continuing to punch in ridiculously high numbers.
Yeah, in the build-up to that, the numbers were big.
Yeah, 110s, 108s. Plenty of support for Harry Ward. He loves double 18.
The Ward Army is in the live lounge.
134. Thank you.
Needed another. Isn't there? So Gilbert will come back to level this up and send us all the way.
Corey asks, what's the best rear grip darts on the market? Well, anything with...
36.
It's not one specific dart. It's sort of tailored to your grip pattern and throw type. It's a trial and error.
18.
Well, that was a long nerve. That was nerves.
I live closer than that one. Harry Ward for big 2 points. And that one as well. That's wild as well. Nerves from both. Double 6. One more at double 3. And none of those look convincing, Mace.
21.
No. None of them were thrown with any kind of conviction. 6 for double 6. I'm not sure about that personally, but there you go. It works for him.
6th leg. Gilbert Vander Meijden.
David asks,
Final leg out of
Chris, what is your
Game on.
most memorable big TV match you ever played? Probably, I've had loads. I've been very fortunate. I've been involved in some great matches,
59.
but the one that is most people of a certain age will remember was the Martin Adams one at the Embassy. 4-1 down, and I come back to win 5-4.
121.
That's in my top 5 games of all time.
Yeah, rarely, or if someone comes in the pub that has never seen it, I'll stick it on and
48.
watch through my hands over my eyes. Incredibly, I played him in an exhibition a few months later in Cambridgeshire in his local club.
100.
And exactly the same thing happened. Everybody thought it was a was set up, and it wasn't. That is just ironically how the game played out. It was 4-1 down and come back in 1-5-4, exactly the same format.
And Harry Ward missed 3 match darts in the last leg, and now all of a sudden he is under the cosh. Gilbert has stolen the darts here.
Well, we mention it all the time. I don't like to use
100.
the word luck, because a dart landing in a double is far from lucky, but he's been given a lifeline and he's a bit fortunate to still be in the
39.
game, because he could have been beaten comprehensively. But he's using that good fortune and finding a way to win.
60.
Yeah, Harry Ward, this has to be a massive visit. 140 is not enough. Needs another. Has to fill it up.
125. Gilbert
A little
120.
fortunate in the end.
Should get a match start. Single 20. Tops for Gilbert Vander Meijden to win it.
100.
And he's now missed a match start.
170.
The big fish to win it in style. Not tonight.
Not this time. But if you are going to lose,
41. Gilbert
you're
20.
better off losing 4-3. Double 10 to seal the deal. Wow. He is edgy.
10.
They were
How do you call
they were just
129?
thrown in the general
Thank you.
direction.
I'm hoping they're going in, not
Yeah.
making them go in.
Correct. Double 18, double 18. Yeah, that's the right shot. It's the right play.
93.
That wasn't,
Gilbert
but he found it anyway to leave a double. So double 5, not the nicest double on the board. I think you've got to be more aggressive, Phil, on dart 1.
We've seen them go wrong so often. The double 5s, the double 3s, they can go wrong so easily. And Harry Ward does win it in the end. He missed match starts to get the job done 4-2. Then Gilbert Vander Meijden will also feel, I should have won it. Multiple darts again thrown with no conviction whatsoever. But it is Harry Ward that gets over the line in game number 2. 4-3, averaging bang on 90 for him. Coming up after the break, we go back into Group 1, and it is a must win for Jonathan Worley as he takes on Kieran Teehan.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Harry Ward edged out Gilbert Vander in a last leg decider. Ward averaging 90 bang on the nose. That's despite missing 10 darts at a double, but his scoring power was his prowess in that match, hitting 4 maximums en route to victory. Right, time for our third match of the evening session, and by the end of it, we could see our first player eliminated from proceeds because a defeat for John Worley in this encounter against Kieran Teehan will mark the end of his hopes of making it through to the semi-finals after losing 4-0 to Harry Gregory in his opener. He takes on Kieran Teehan, who has been a much improved player this week from his previous appearance here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, and early on tonight, he caught up with Phil Bars.
Kieran, here we are, back at finals night for yourself. Good memories on a Saturday night here.
Yeah, well, obviously the first Saturday out here I won, so I love, I hope you crowd in tonight as well, even the better, that makes most of it.
You must be delighted with the way this has gone, because we were looking at your numbers coming into this week and the game didn't look in that good a place, just what we were seeing, but you played some fabulous stuff, so you must be delighted.
Yeah, to be honest, well, back in Ireland and local events, I've been throwing very well the last few months, and practicing well, so I knew I was in good form, and the last challenge tours, I probably didn't get the results, but the numbers were like a lot more high 90 average and stuff, so that consistency, the consistency come back in it definitely, so I'm happy with that. Away
from here and the PDC events, have you been really putting in the graft to get back your game back to where you think it should be, that World Championship for instance?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of gone back doing what I used to do before COVID, like going out 3 or 4 nights a week playing everything I can really, to be honest. You know, I think match practice is so vital, maybe not for everyone, but it definitely helps my game anyway, the more I play tournaments every week, so I put it down to anything, to be honest.
Has that been frustrating for you? Because we've seen the heights that you can hit, but the fact the last 3 or 4 years you haven't hit them, has that been frustrating?
Yeah, well, there's probably a few players in the same boat as me when I got on the tour, you know, COVID did kind of kill it. So I'd love to get back and have a second go of it when it's full tour, you know, and really have a proper go of it then. So that's the plan in the future. Yeah.
Do you feel your game is close to being able to compete at that level again?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's only a small few tweaks, as I was saying to Henry the other night. And it looks, the last few months, and I can definitely see it coming back, so I'm happy with it.
Kieran, wish you all the very best this season.
Thanks very much.
Just as Gilbert was left on a finish to send himself through, they only need 1 tops. Beautifully done by Teehan, he leads 1-0. Teehan has responded superbly, and that 116 has accrued the break. And he is the first ever man to win under this roof is Kieran Teehan, and he is hoping to double up here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. For John Worley, it's basically knockout darts from here on in defeat, and he is eliminated. Watching this third game in the commentary box is Chris Mason and Phil Bars.
Welcome back, everyone. There he is. Pressure on this man's shoulders. He got thumped in the opener. Now, Chris, pressure personified.
Yeah, and even if he does win this match, he's still not guaranteed to progress, of course. But first and foremost, it's a must-win. It's a nice position to be in for Kieran Teehan, though. This is where playing second is an advantage. You know, you win this game, your third and final game is a dead rubber and meaningless. You're playing for position.
Yeah, and also that second chance as well, if it doesn't go right here, knowing that you get another crack.
Yeah, correct. Well, my concern on Thursday, when we first saw Kieran Teehan, was where his game was at, and obviously I don't have access to what he's doing locally or the type of practice or how he's playing in practice, but his numbers coming into this, his seasonal numbers, 81.74. Over the course of 2 days, Kieran Teehan averaged very nearly 91.
60.
Almost a 10-point jump, and it wasn't a one-off. That's his mean average over all of those matches.
Yeah, I remember the Kieran Teehan that turned up at Ali Pali and looked $1 million, and it was interesting getting his insight there, just chatting to him in that pre-match interview, that he said, look, I've gone back to basics.
82.
I'm playing 3-4 nights a week, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the fruits of his labour, to say, and it's good to see. I was genuinely concerned for
140.
where his game was. Well, Cross has just got the better in a last leg shootout against man of the moment, Martin Schindler.
180.
finds the first max of the match. Vocal, maybe small crowd, but they're certainly vocal enough.
So I think we've got the Paul Hinks fan club in the live lounge tonight.
He's got a bit of a cult following, hasn't he, as our Paul Hinks. Absolute legend of the game, of course.
96. Jonica 64.
So 64 for first blood for the Womble. 2 at tops. That dart didn't look comfortable at all. But recovers with the double 10. Trying to go back to that dart at tops, mate. It's almost as if halfway through his action he wanted to stop himself and didn't, and just threw it anyway, and that's why it plummeted so low.
Yeah. Paul Hinks always reminds me, you'll know this guy, Mills Lane, firm but fair.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. Passed away, bless him, did Mills Lane.
100.
In December of 2022. But yeah, absolute legend on the hockey, and Mills Lane, a legend in the square circle.
57.
Wonderful referee. Was a judge. That was his job. So he would be firm but fair.
Mind you, they're not built like that anymore, that's for sure.
No.
100.
Firm but crooked.
Yeah. Or inept. Either way.
Both.
Yeah, or both.
96.
For those of you in the chat that are boxing fans, there's boxing in the UK. Hughie Fury's back after nearly 3 years.
Is that really boxing though?
100.
He's getting his man strength. He's learning on the job. I think he's 30 odd now.
55.
And is that a slip from Teehan? It's opened the door for Worley here. Remember, knockout darts for John has to win this.
45.
Harry Gregory sat in the practice room, feet up, letting these two get on with it. This needs to be at least a ton bare minimum.
97.
Just about enough, Chris.
Yeah, just about enough to leave a possible 2-dart combination if he gets a go. Can he find the open bed? Well, he can. Double 18 for a barnstormer.
138.
Would have been a magical moment from Worley, but he lets Teehan in for 96. Treble 20 for double 18. I'd stay there with that one. I think that's a good play. Brilliant from Teehan. We've seen so many people go double there, but the way the first start is set, that is the right play for me.
100%. And that's backed up. We're taking the shot out. A missed opportunity for John Worley. We saw how costly missed opportunities
43.
were in the last game for Gilbert. But only losing 4-3. Still keeps his hopes alive.
139.
Gilbert will be back in action against John O'Shea in the match to follow. As we return to Group 2 action.
Two fabulous groups here this evening.
Yeah. Yeah, great field of players. John Worley averaging 93 here. Kieran Teehan,
125.
very healthy looking. 98.58.
And Teehan's taken the darts here. It's writing could be on the wall for Worley if he goes behind.
Corey, I'm originally from Bristol, but lived in Ireland and Gibraltar for a while. London.
80.
Can't forget Tivy.
Yeah, good old Tivy. Nels said, good evening, Phil.
45.
Good evening, Nels. Hope you are well.
57.
Regular in our chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you get a lot of crossover in the chat from the Online Darts Live Lounge?
Yeah, absolutely. That is magical. Magical from Teehan. 157 breaks the throw, and all of a sudden, John Worley staring at the trapdoor.
Game on.
That's our 72nd ton plus finish of the week. I think we could do 80.
100.
I agree. Fabulous 12 dart break of throw from the Irishman. And that's the Teehan that we know is there. That's the Teehan that won
100.
here on opening night of the Super Series.
He was in Champions Week, of course, the very first Champions Week that I played in, that Conan Whitehead went on to win. That was an amazing first series, wasn't it?
Incredible. I still like your 9-dart challenge where you'd worked out that you were through. You couldn't get off that stage quick enough while the other two were battling it out.
Yeah, I thought I'd just get out of the way and let them get on with it. Evening, Nels. It is very much game on.
Teehan averaging 101 right now. And it's looking as if him and Harry Gregory are going to take the spoils in this group unless the Womble can produce something in the next
45.
few minutes. But
Well, this has happened to him a couple of times, hasn't it, on finals nights? He just can't quite get it right for whatever reason. It's something that I think you've just got to work
85.
out. But in other times, you've just... Listen, I made the finals night of Champions Week, and Josh Payne and Conan White in my group, and I had a dart at tops to win one of them, and missed a single 20 to have a go at tops in the other. And sometimes you just got to put your hands up and say, well, I just wasn't quite good enough. But there is,
82.
there's something you've got to just try and work out on your own of how to prepare to just get it right for these sort of one-off nights. Totally different than
41.
qualification, of course.
34.
and you can see the frustration building in John, where Teehan, the lesser
In from the
spotted
fourth
double
leg,
17.
Teehan.
We've seen it here on a Saturday.
Seeing everything here tonight on a Saturday.
Fifth leg, John to throw first. Game on.
The rare double 17 and the rare 9-darter. Don't panic, folks. You didn't miss a real... Well, it was a real 9-darter. It just wasn't in a game. Gilbert Vander Meijden, in warming up for his opening game against Harry Ward, walked up on stage, 180, 180, 141.
And then was thinking, where was that in the game?
Yeah.
59.
Well, it's a game he could have lost and then should have won. Evening, Michael. Evening, Gareth. Good day, Mace. Just home from work. Euros on TV. Modus on the tablet.
134.
She got the Super Series on in the pub tonight.
The
The
Prince
big
of Wales.
new 70-inch TV. Wait till you see that beauty.
70-inch TV.
100.
Big fan.
$43.
Teehan's just let Worsley off there. I know it's on the Worsley darts, but a big visit there from Teehan
87.
almost puts the game beyond Worsley, where now, yes, he is on the point of no return, but it's still a point. There's still that little bit of hope.
Yeah, exactly. While you're
55.
still in it, you can still win it.
Cheers, Mike. Thank you very much indeed in our chat room. Yeah.
59.
Look, Chris and I, we love a good sit down, putting the world to rights.
Yep, we like to go over the
99.
ins and outs, rights and wrongs of the darting sphere. We will be having a sit down in the pub in a few weeks' time. That will be going out on the
100.
Online Darts
Get in the car, 170.
YouTube channel.
We planned it earlier. However, Teehan can win it in style. Another one of them.
We have had so many goes at it
105.
this
Get in
week.
the car, 96.
164 is the highest we've seen. Oh dear. Needs treble 19 for double 19, and that may well be the end of John Worsley's campaign.
Get in your car, 65.
Another frustrating finals night for him.
65 for Teehan to book his place in the semi-final. It's going to be 20 and tops. Oh, he's missed a big number.
25.
Lifeline
John
for the
Car,
Womble.
56.
Yeah, he's just, can't believe it. Sometimes you just take it for granted. It's something that Glenn Durrant talks about, and he is so right. And it's something that I never really did, but we all do the 1-2-1 to 170 finishing routine. And Glenn talks about he used to do 41 to 81, and he's right. Those little two-dart combination shots, and when you look back at when he was in his heyday and in his absolute prime, he was ruthless in that department.
I completely get it and understand why. Those little pop-pops that have done it.
Yep. Jeffrey Cronick enjoying the darts from Big Flats, Wisconsin, cheese country.
93.
Didn't know that.
I just put a little asterisk on my notepad. Leg 5 of this one, that the Womble should have been going home. Found a way, and is that the turning point?
44.
Not with darts like that, I'm afraid.
No, he's not seized the opportunity that was handed to him, and it was handed. But Teehan's, I think
24.
he's overthinking that missed dart at a big 20, because he's not started this leg with the same force to me that he had in the others. It's just a little bit floaty all of a sudden.
Yeah, not as much belief. Nell said it was good last time, Mace, when he was in the pub with Jack and Co. Yeah, the online darts live lounge live did come from the pub. Just
40.
Well, it was a few days before the start of the Worlds. There is another live lounge happening in the summer, but I do believe we're going to do it again from the pub the week before. It's going to become a bit of a annual pilgrimage for us all.
Yeah, we spoke about that a few weeks ago, and we are going to do it again just before the World Championships.
Details closer to the time will be available. There will be limited tickets available because it
90. John
was so popular, and it's when we do it again, I think we're going to have to do it by tickets, otherwise it would be just too many people.
Game shown the 6.
We are level.
Somehow.
Yeah. And the Worsley fan club is there. They've given him the belief. And I go back to leg 5. The moment that this game turned.
121.
Right now, a penny for Kieran Teehan's thoughts. He should have been off stage.
Well, it was very much like our previous game, wasn't it? Between Harry Ward and Gilbert. Harry dominated the game and could have won it 2 or 3 times over. And all of a sudden he found himself facing match darts. Did ultimately go on to win the game. Is that what's going to happen in this one?
59.
Needs a couple of trebles here, Teehan.
100.
Just 20 points separating them. Advantage of throw was with this man. But he's not really utilising that advantage. That's a fabulous
96.
last dart. Huge.
He's just digging in, finding a way. Another treble makes it interesting.
100.
Still advantage Worsley just because he has the darts.
But he is on thin ice. He's got to stay there, Phil, hasn't he, really?
That's why I was surprised dart 2 he went down. I think he stay up for dart 2 and then you can bring the ball into play for dart 3.
Or a single 15 and he's totally miscounted and left himself a bogey. It was single 19 or 16.
You can see that there. He's realised, head in his hands, he's just gifted Kieran Teehan 6 darts to get over the line.
58.
But he comes up dry.
Very edgy. It always is finals night. That's what it's so hard to pick a winner because everyone's going to be very,
83.
very nervous,
Get in the car,
especially in the early
143.
stages. I think that's why I'd like to see the semi-final and final extended a little bit I think we'd see better darts.
Bit like on the Pro Tour.
Yeah. I think we
95.
could
Jonathan,
easily go
85.
best of 9 in the semi, best of 11 in the final, especially now that we have an early start.
85 to win it. It's going to be a dart at the ball. It's dragged
43.
it. And he
Kieran
knows,
Yukar,
is that
48.
the opportunity gone? 48 for Teehan to win it in the end. It's going to be 2 at double 16 to send Worley home. And
Getting
Teehan
shot on the
wins it.
match, Kieran Teehan.
And he gives some to the crowd. Kieran Teehan gets over the line 4-3. He made life difficult for himself. Gifted John Worley the chance. The Womble got it level, but the Irishman found a way. He laughs with Paul Hinks there. He knows that should have been more comprehensive than what that scoreline is. John Worley departs from this group, and Teehan and Gregory go through. But coming up after the break, Gilbert Vander Meijden returns, and it's the first time we're going to see John O'Shea, the Joker.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break we saw Kieran Teehan book his place in the semi-finals, taking Harry Gregory with him with a last leg decider victory over John Worley, who will depart us at this particular juncture. Right, our fourth game kind of has a similar feel to the previous match. Gilbert Vander Meijden, who was edged out by Harry Ward 4-3 in his opening game of the evening session, takes on John O'Shea. Now, he's got a perfect record in terms of making it to Saturday nights in the Super Series format. He was runner-up in week 12, semi-finalist at Champions Night. He is hoping to be the champion come 11 o'clock this evening. And earlier on this evening, Phil Bars caught up with him.
John, Saturday night at the Super Series, you promised us on Monday morning you would play yourself into form, and you certainly have done that.
Yeah, that was the plan. Didn't go as well as I wanted it to go. I felt okay, but I think it was Tuesday, those 5 defeats Tuesday, I just went back and I just said to myself that can't happen ever again, like, you know. Happened to me on the Challenge Tour actually recently, where I went out in first round and I think I had 3, 4 plus, 90 plus averages, and I was losing, and I was like, I'm playing okay, but I wasn't getting any luck, you know.
The biggest average of the week is yours, 109 superstar. That's the joker that we know is in there. And is it frustrating that we don't get that all the time?
It's frustrating for me. You know, I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm in competition with myself. You know what I mean? I like only for that double 18 for the 10 dart, or the game after that 109, I think I was on 111. So you know, it's there. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out on a regular basis. You know.
Last time you were here, you were close.
Yeah.
Is it redemption this evening?
Well, hopefully with a bit of luck. You know, I feel great. You know, I feel charged and ready to go. I feel a lot confident. Like I told you at the start of the week, I was after breaking in this new throw. It's subtle. Not a whole lot of people would see the difference, you know, but it's worked for me. I just need to work on it now, because I just didn't know how it was going to work under pressure with guys going throwing 11, 12 dart or legs back at me. So I'm happy with the progress this week with that throw. So that's something I can take home and work on as well now, without, you know, panicking too much. But I feel very confident tonight, to be honest, yeah.
Well, on that confidence, John, we wish you all the very best this evening.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you.
I said at the start of the day that John O'Shea wanted to introduce a little bit of chaos.
Maybe that does go to the point, though, that maybe he didn't feel quite comfortable with the setup yesterday.
Oh, he got it right, all right. That's wonderful. Slightly unconventional. Bullseye for O'Shea. There it is.
John O'Shea.
He may be the joker, but there's no joking around here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. John O'Shea knows that a win and he is in to the semi-finals a little bit later on. As for Gilbert Vander, well, if he loses, he is out. A win, he keeps his chances alive. The fact that he lost 4-3 in his opening game has given himself the best possible chance. In the commentary box for this one, Chris Mason and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Henry. Welcome back, everyone. And during that VT, Mace, there's something in the air this evening, because we were given the information that John's final darts before he left the practice room, he went 8 into the 9.
Well, maybe that's a blessing, because Gilbert hit the 9 in his practice darts on stage and went on to, well, ultimately looked like he was going to lose the match. Then he had a dart to win the match and then lost the match, pretty much identical to our previous game between Teehan and Worley. Now, listen, we all love the big averages, but those kind of matches where they're full of tension and drama and key moments, that's the sport element of our sport. I love them. I love seeing people go through the ringer.
Game on.
That's why I'm sat here and not up there anymore.
Obviously, where I do a few jobs in the building, I'm going to give away some trade secrets here. There's one of the cameras
57.
that's been dubbed Misery Cam in our gallery.
Like it. Oh, how about this?
140.
I thought he looked down because they looked precarious, didn't they?
Yeah, he definitely glanced down. I think he changed his mind last minute.
96. $81.
And early on in this tie, John O'Shea was a dart in front, but it's a big 140 from Gilbert.
So we're going to get a big reply. It's only 95 in the end.
One thing we will get is the Joker will love having the audience in this evening.
100.
Yeah, on Monday, these two both played in Group A, of course. Went in different directions after that. One into Group B, one into Group C. But their very first meeting, Gilbert edged 4-3 despite O'Shea in 3 180s and an average of 102.64. Tuesday,
41.
Gilbert did the double 4-1 against John on that occasion with a 95.73.
80.
The Joker has missed the dart for first blood and a breaker throw. Vander Meijden coming back for 67 to hold. It's only going to be one dart at tops. And he misses, so the Joker returns for 1-0 and a breaker throw.
John eventually picked up his first win against Gilbert on Wednesday, 4-3. So in terms of head-to-head, the advantage is with
20.
Gilbert Vander Meijden.
O'Shea has missed the opportunity, and Vander Meijden steps in. Is it his lucky day?
Thursday was the really impressive day for John O'Shea. Match number 2.
98.
He defeated Jamie Atkins 4-2 with 109.05.
Vintage from the Joker.
Well, it's an indication of where his ceiling is. We all know about the Michael van Gerwen ceiling, as he's just defeated Engstrom comfortably. First 180 of the session goes to, or should I say of the match, goes to O'Shea.
And speaking of the O'Sheas, warm welcome to Laura and Maisie watching
57.
along at home.
There's David saying, I'm hoping to go to the Modus one Saturday night and stay over in a B&B or something. There's a travel lodge which is more than comfortable enough for a night stay, literally less than a 5-minute walk away.
Yeah, and if that's full, there's plenty around the area, so get yourself down to the Live Lounge here in Portsmouth.
Yeah, tickets are, well, you can reserve your ticket. It's just a £2 booking fee. There's no price for the ticket. It's just a
54.
booking fee to almost ensure that you turn up, as we did have some strange people that decided to book all the tickets one Saturday night and then not turn up.
41.
What they got out of that, I'm not quite sure, but there you go. There's strange folk about. And it's 3 drinks for a tenner. So if you have 3 pints, your £2 booking fee.
65.
Night out for 12 quid. Can't go wrong.
2 at tops for O'Shea.
25.
And again, opportunity passed up. John O'Shea, we're feeling inside he should be 2-0 up, but he could be 2-zip down. If Vander Meijden can pin double 16, and he is 2-0 down. It's a break of throw. O'Shea has had darts first in the opening legs, and now has work to do.
Yeah, it will be incredibly frustrating, this, for John O'Shea.
83.
Yeah, 0 from 6 at the moment. And the key stat for me is, yes, there's been a max, but there's only one 140 and no visits of a ton or more other than the ton, the 140 and the 180.
58. $100. $140.
All of a sudden, the Joker is under some pressure here.
85.
A big defeat, especially because Harry Ward beat Vander Meijden in a close one, leaves him very much behind the 8 ball.
140.
Yep, sure does.
$140. Good look at 80.
Gives himself a chance. Single for tops. Tops for 3-0. 3-0 it is. Fabulous start from Vander Meijden, and now O'Shea is up against it.
Yeah, none from 6 on the doubles. 3 from 7 for Gilbert. And that's where this game is being won and lost right now.
Yeah, the Joker should have been 2-0 to the good.
58.
Multiple darts in those legs. couldn't take them. And now under the cosh.
Yeah, and it's just
100.
allowing Gilbert to play with a bit of freedom here now.
$96.
A 4-0 win would put Gilder Van Meijden through because the Holy Grail is 2 points and a plus leg difference.
Correct.
100.
Well, actually, a 4-2 win would
57.
do that as well, wouldn't it? So he's got time on his side.
$134.
Welcome along to the Darty Party, Dale. Glad you're enjoying it.
55. Gilbert Carr 167.
6 starts here to get the job done from 167 for Vander Meijden.
54 would have left his favourite 36. I wonder if he'll go treble 12.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, he loves double 18. That's the route. Fascinates me, that. And
no score.
That was always the danger. It looked prime to find the treble 20.
For the ultimate punishment, it's not going to be there.
90.
But again, this 72 is no gimme.
Well, it may result in just the one dart at the double, and that's been given a bit extra pressure. Yep, I'm not surprised.
40.
Creator of his own downfall there.
80.
Yeah. Can John O'Shea get himself back into this? It's one dart at tops, and he takes it. Vander Meijden has fluffed his lines, and John O'Shea has stepped in. It's only a hold, but it gives him something to cling on to. And the fact Vander Meijden made a mess of it twice, are there going to be demons after that?
96.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, Root, if you don't like it, go watch something else, pal. No one's forcing you to watch.
66.
Do you know why I don't watch soap operas?
Because you don't like them.
Correct.
$60.
Do you know what I do if my missus is watching them?
Turn the TV off.
Go into another room and watch something else. Or do something else.
You're not that brave to turn it off when she's watching, are you?
No, absolutely not. She's the boss in that place. She'll bar me. I've nowhere to drink.
So what is your favourite soap? Emmerdale? Corrie? EastEnders?
Gareth, do you serve Guinness? Yes, the best pint of Guinness in the area. Even the other local landlords come in and drink my Guinness.
44. John O'Shea.
John O'Shea has a break opportunity here. We've seen matches turn tonight already. Is this another one?
59.
He'd have liked more. Vander Meijden 136 to get the job done, but as I say, I had no confidence that was going to go whatsoever. Since he made a mess of that 72,
96.
Not quite been the same player.
90.
Agreed. Although he is in a good position here, unless. Oh.
54. Gilbert Carr
Should
40.
be. Oh, she wrote.
Tops for a 4-1 win and a place in the semi-final. And it goes, last start in hand. Gilbert Vander Meijden beats John O'Shea 4-1 to book his place in the semi-final. The Joker has work to do, can still qualify, but Harry Ward will be the favourite going into that last game in Group 2, as there the numbers are. The undoing for O'Shea, 1 from 8 on the outer ring. He had opportunities and couldn't take them, But coming up after the break, our final game in Group 1. It is a game to see who will top the table between Kieran Teehan and Harry Gregory.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where our fifth game of the evening session sees Kieran Teehan and Harry Gregory go toe-to-toe. And so, what we're going to see from this encounter, let's find out in the company of Phil Bars and Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Henry. Well, this one is for position. And remember, the winner of this game will have the throw in the semi-final, and the winner will play the runner-up from Group 2. The loser will play the winner of Group 2 and not have the darts. Someone asking, what do I charge for a pint of Guinness? $3.80 on a Wednesday between 6 and 7, $4.80 any other time.
Game on.
And here we have Teehan has the darts in the battle for P1 in group number 1.
30.
And I'm not sure if these two have met. They may have met on the Dev Tour.
Possibly the Dev Tour.
I'll just have a quick check, because Harry Gregory continues this wonderful run.
81.
He's definitely a player that I think the world's going to keep an eye on.
Yeah, well, he is a player that,
well,
obviously we knew about him making the final of the JDC Worlds. Yeah. So I've been keeping an eye on his progress since then, really. And
99.
He is a player on the up.
Again, I like the fundamentals of his action. Not much can go wrong with it. It's straightforward.
Yeah, and he's got a nice mentality and a nice approach. A very nice young man.
91.
He's effectively stolen the darts here as well. as he looks to top Group 1
95.
and keep this winning run going. Of course, our Group A winner.
I mean, both of these have found another gear this week in
85. Harioka,
terms of where their
150.
games are coming into it. Harry averaging 82 over the previous 12 months. Kieran 81.74, and both are
57.
averaging well into the 90s for the week. And I love seeing that.
$79.
Did the hard work,
Harioka,
found the treble.
56.
But the dart double 18 was wayward, and Gregory's going to get 2 at tops to lead 1-0 as he chases to 10s,
Game
pins
shot on the first
10s.
leg. Harry Gregory.
Harry Gregory leads 1-0,
Second leg, Harry.
and I like
this
that.
way first.
No
Game
emotion.
on, thank you.
Walk back, get on with it.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been very impressed with. We see a lot with
42.
youngsters. They can be a little fiery.
Think they're Michael Van Gogh before they're Michael Van
87.
Gogh. Is that the phrase you were looking for?
Correct. Think they're champagne and play like lemonade.
140. $47.
Can we get a nice side-on view? The elbow remains straight at a
99.
nice...
Yeah, there's a few things, but he's still evolving, isn't he? He's just got to watch the final
57.
dart. That's the one area that, because this is okay. There's, due to the aggressive nature of his throw and the acceleration, the shoulder does take a bit of a shock, and there's a little bit of movement. But the only thing I'd really advise him is just be careful on dart 3. He tends to walk on it.
Touch of the early Michael Smiths.
Yeah. Well, he didn't do bad, did he? He's all right.
Yeah, I remember in the early days, though, he was halfway down the hockey
Harioka,
sometimes.
128.
Yeah, and it would often be either in the treble 20 or nowhere near it.
60.
But coming back for 68 and a 2-0 lead.
97.
For the
Harioka,
Hawk.
68. $52.
Now, he obviously favours double 16, and there's another case there for the 36-32. Not the double 18, by the way, folks, the treble 12.
Mind you, we're seeing more and more
100. Harioka, 16.
quirky ways of going. In the last 6 months, I'd say it's gone to a new level.
Is that the
No score.
is that the Littler effect, do you think?
Harioka, 82.
Yeah, I think so, because obviously he showed the way and went, I'm going to finish my way, whether it's right or wrong.
It's double 7.
Game shot on the second leg.
Well, that
Kieran
works.
Teehan.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more of the treble 14,
Third
double
leg, Kieran
14
to
route.
first. Game on.
And a lot more
Thank you.
people on 85 going, listen, you throw at the 57, it's the second most used treble outside of the treble 20 in the
60.
scoring phase of a leg. So it makes sense on 85 to go 57-28.
Even things, I know James Wade used to do it a lot, everything to leave
92.
tops, but we're seeing go in price where deliberately targeting treble 9s to leave tops and so on and so on. It's an interesting thing in finishing right now.
Yeah,
91.
yeah, I'm loving it. I love the way Littler is aware that after 6 he needs to be around the 341, 344, 347, etc., where he can go out in 12.
Again, though, that comes from the setup play early on.
59.
Yeah, not going to the 19s, going to the 17s, because the
which we've
breakdown is so much better. Either the 7 leaves the 4 or the 1 leaves it a
something
round number.
we've been discussing for years, haven't we?
119.
Petri Mouton, apologies if I've made a mess of that. Good evening from Pretoria, South Africa. I'm a keen follower of the Super Series. Welcome along and thank you for your support.
150.
One of my favourite moments last year was Simon Adams playing. What a gentleman.
Well,
96.
Just have that infectious way of just making you smile.
One of the nicest men I've ever had the privilege to meet.
Correct. One of the funniest moments ever.
Car 54.
He said to me, did I used to play darts?
14. Killing car 92.
2 darts passed up from Gregory. He may be 2-1 down in the blink of an eye if Teehan can find double 16.
60.
Doesn't take it.
car 40.
Is that awkward? How much is it blocked? What a recovery dart that is.
Yeah. He has been very, very good at that this week. Well, there has been other darts today, of course. The Women's Series return to action. Congratulations to Noah Van Lin and Bo Greaves, who won Women's Series 5 and 6.
Yeah. Of course, we will see Bo here next week in Group B, Thursday and Friday evenings.
And if she finds her best form, she's going to be a handful next week. I think she'll love this environment. Tell you who does love this environment? Young Harry Gregory. Gregory, a name, of course, synonymous with the sport of darts.
Absolutely.
Family friend. Won the Denmark Open pairs, did me and Mike Gregory.
100.
Played in the Gold Cup with me dad.
As it was back then, the very first winner of a WDC event.
He was. Won the Ladder Classic back-to-back, didn't he? Wasn't he the WDC #1 for
I believe so.
that period?
89.
Interesting that he refused the bullseye route. Says to Teehan, you can't take this out. And he's correct, you can't. Liking it.
Did the Bristow. When Deller did the business.
100. car 32.
Double 16 for 3-1. That's awkward. I'm not sure what he can see. Now, look, this is hit and hope.
No score.
That's so unlucky. When that left his hand, I bet he was convinced it was in.
For a level game.
Shot on the
Brilliant from Teehan. And this is another one of those games. It's 2-2 after 4, but Gregory could be off the stage 4-0 winner.
Very charmed night so far for Teehan.
Names on pot.
You know the coup, Barzy.
Anyone think we've done this before together, Mace?
$94.
FPL lad says, where's Teehan coming in the group? Well, he's guaranteed a place in the semi-final, but the winner of this tie will top the group.
And play
60.
P2 of Group 2. A bit of Euro Tour action for you. Luke Littler, full 3 up, but Humphreys needs 1 for 1 for a 9 and a level game. Ooh, not in.
140. $122.
And Teehan's dug in well. He's got fighting qualities to him.
133.
Yeah, super impressed with this transformation of form.
$86. Car 74.
Boom, you know as much about darts as I do quantum physics.
Do you not know how to split the atom?
I don't think he
54. Car 32.
could split an orange.
And Teehan to lead somehow. That was a flyer, and that expression says it all. Can he recover the situation? One more at double 16. Finds it. Kieran Teehan leads this one 3-2. And Harry Gregory could be 5-0 up.
6 leg alley to throw.
Yeah. He's had darts at a double in every leg, and more often than not, missing by the thickness of a wire. And
121.
a sport with such fine margins, that can be the difference.
140.
I know, Gareth, we're watching it.
We have a second screen.
That's why I told you that he was on a 9. I'm not telepathic.
140.
Back-to-back 140s for Teehan, really loading the pressure on Gregory's young shoulders, but what a response.
I like the temperament he has. He knows he should have won this game already, but he's still just going about his business. Believes in his ability.
64. Ariaka 145. $65.
Leaves 80 unless Teehan
can replicate what he did against John Worsley, which was take out the 157.
47.
Frustration. 80 for 3-all. Single for tops. Oh, double top for double 10.
60.
And again, it's another dart missed at a double. Can Teehan step in with the 110 for a 4-2 victory? Is going to get a dart as long as he can keep it straight, and he does. Double 16.
78.
Again, high.
20.
Right, double 10 to take us to a decider. Friend or foe? Friend.
Deserves a last leg side of this one.
Could I please ask, could you please not call out while the players are on the hockey throw-in? That would be very much appreciated by both players. Thank you. 7th and final leg, Kieran.
Very well said.
Game on.
Mr. Hinks, firm but fair.
Go on, Hinksy.
140.
Teehan has the dart, so he has to be favourite.
40.
Yeah, and that 140 just piled the pressure on Gregory.
100.
And at this point, tons will do for Teehan.
60.
Not enough from the Hawk. Teehan looking to continue.
60.
Well, he can almost coast. But that's 60 if he can find a big turn, and, well, he just keeps coming
59.
up dry. 6 darts, no big trebles.
$58.
Oh, incredible game between the two Lukes. Their rivalry continues.
58.
This time, Humphreys getting the better of Littler. 6-5, both players averaging over a ton.
45.
Leaves 98 to win it. Needs another treble here, Gregory.
98.
Can't find it.
Yeah, tried the open bed on treble 18, so 6 for Teehan. Treble 20 may split this. Oh no, straight for it, and hits it. And a 17 darter in the deciding leg is enough. Both players are through, of course, into the semi-final. Looking at the numbers, not a lot between them in the end. There was not a lot between them in the scoreline. 83-78, 82-01. The two 180s coming from Gregory. But there's the stat that cost him 3 from 19. When we come back, we will know our semi-final lineup as John O'Shea takes on Harry Ward.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break we saw a 98 checkout from Kieran Teehan to seal the match against Harry Gregory. It's our final game of the groups now, and we're going to watch Harry Ward and John O'Shea in action. Gilbert Vander is already through from this group, and if Harry Ward gets a couple of legs against O'Shea here, he will join him. Watching this one in the commentary box, it's Chris Mason and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Henry. And this one, 2 legs needed for Ward. It is simple for the Joker. Win and win big.
Yeah, he's got to win
4-1.
4-1, yeah. 4-1 or better.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, John to through first.
That sounds a difficult assignment, but the fact he has the darts, it's not impossible.
No, one break of throw.
Where if it's the other way,
81.
if he hasn't got the darts, then you start thinking,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Nope, no belt matches
123.
here this evening.
$134.
Even if he doesn't pull this off, there's been a lot this week that John can take away from it. The changes in the throw are working slowly.
Yeah, well, he said
77.
exactly that in his chat with you before the off this evening, that it's something for him to work on when he gets home. But I agree, it's when it's on, isn't it?
Yeah, the signs that we've seen are great signs for John O'Shea this year.
100. John O'Carr, 106.
Double 16 for the
He's on the
opener.
first leg,
And there it is,
O'Shea.
John O'Shea, part 1 done.
Stunning. 12 darter. 106
Second leg,
out.
Harry to through first. Game on.
Mr. Nobody Whatsoever. Interesting name. It's a shame we can't have Chris Mason commentating on Sky
45.
Sports. All due respect, but blah, blah, blah can be painful at times. I think he does a sterling job.
I must admit, in terms of we hear of fantasy football, fantasy this.
Me and Wayne on comms.
I'd love to see you two commentate together.
Be interesting, wouldn't it? Be very contrasting styles.
96.
But he does a wonderful job. We're all, listen, nobody can be everybody's cup of tea. The
140.
phrase Marmite is, I totally get. Some people like what I do, some people hate it. The only people I care about if they like what I do is the people who pay my salary.
121.
I like what you do.
Thanks, pal. I like what you do.
But I remember once that you said we'd never see you on Sky. I think times have changed and
Yeah,
there's
it
could happen one day.
Yeah, well,
perhaps.
I did initially do a lot for Sky. Worked alongside Dave Lanning and Sid and Gwynny. Wonderful times, a wonderful education.
60. John
Offered
O'Carr,
the opportunity to
159.
work for ITV, and I'm more than happy. No, David, I haven't got a clue when that belt match is being played. Unfortunately, I've not been sent any info at all on that.
74.
Janty. O'Shea not going to win. He is not good. You do know he had a 109.05 average this week.
Fabulous setup from Harry Ward, but John O'Shea 65 to get the break of throw, and he's going to get 2 at tops for 2-0. This is huge, and he pins it. Monster moment in this game, Mace.
Yeah, but he's not any good.
Oh, sorry, yeah, my fault.
He's averaging 111. He's not any good. And the best bit was that he averaged 109 and was double 18 away from backing out with 111. I know people say I'm rubbish, but well, if he's no good, I must be absolutely worse than rubbish.
He now has the darts to go 3-0 up.
57.
No, David. Phil Taylor wouldn't consider playing at Modus. He is in the process of his final year of competitive action.
60.
What a wonderful servant to our sport he has been. Himself and Eric, in my opinion.
134.
Two most influential players, certainly of my generation.
The Joker needs a treble and finds one. Ward under constant pressure here. Remember, he has to win 2 legs to qualify. Doesn't need to win. But O'Shea is doing everything right at the moment. But that's a huge maximum for Harry Ward.
That's right, Jamie. It was unfortunately against you. You did walk into a couple. Credit to you, though. You averaged 97 yourself in that one.
That is magical from Harry Ward. Absolutely magical.
Yeah, 310 in 6. And our second 12 of the match. Averages as we enter the 4th leg. 110.92 O'Shea, 107.83 Ward.
John O'Shea is sat poised, ready to go 3-0 in front. The 180 and the 130 finish from Big H has swung this game once again.
57.
John Hughes, Chris, do you still do exhibitions, and how do I book you to come back to Anglesey? I do, but I just don't have any availability this year, I'm afraid.
140.
Is the diary open for 2025 yet?
Oh, it should be, mate, but I just can't do it. I'm meant to be working less.
Mind you talk about diaries. Everyone laughs at mine. I actually have an old school physical diary that I write.
Same as.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2. One that Charlotte keeps and one that I keep, because that's the only way we can do it.
I think that 130 hurt O'Shea.
Yeah, that
was like a body blow from Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, that one would have smarted. David Green, Taylor won't be able to help himself. He will pick up the darts. Even not, I can assure you, he'll do the odd exhibition, and that's that.
85.
Again, not an opinion. It's a fact after speaking to him.
Double 10 for a place in the semi-final for Big H. Won't go, but we'll be back.
So the average comes tumbling down to 104.
59.
So this time to seal his spot in the final 4 for Big H, and Harry Ward is going to the semi-finals. He has the 2 legs he requires. But what a fabulous game this is. Regardless of the result, both of these giving it everything. Superb stuff from the Joker and Big H.
Yeah, O'Shea just not getting out of the blocks in the opening match. We see it so often on finals night. We've seen it with the other John Worsley.
57.
To win this group, Ward, of course, has to win.
$140.
I like this from the Joker. His race is run, but he's still giving it absolutely everything.
So is Harry Ward. Wowzers, what a performance.
Yeah, both of them well over the ton mark average. 104, plays 105.
Mr. Nobody Whatsoever, when did double-double checkouts become the norm in darts? I was always told back in the day it was disrespectful to check out like that against an opponent. Now pretty common. Yeah, Bristow used to do it a fair bit back in the day. I think the double-double is disrespectful if you're on 80 with 3 darts in hand and you go tops. That's a little bit, you know, that still irks the players a bit. Oh, wow. Another 12. This guy has got class in abundance. And acknowledged another classy guy in John O'Shea. He's throwing the kitchen sink at him. He's averaging 102.68 himself.
Like that real classy moment there from John O'Shea. He knows he's playing well, but when someone's doing that, the 130 followed by the 124, back-to-back 12 dart legs, there's not a lot you can do.
No, at any level. Aiden Box, I checked double by accident. Need double 10, hit double 6, and then double 4. We've all been there.
I remember back in the day when Phil did it to Kevin Painter for the first time.
Oh, the bullseye. Oh, yeah. That was for 10-0, wasn't it? Yeah, that was... Yeah, Kevin... And of course, James Wade did it to Kevin in the match play. James wanted 80 for the match. 3 darts in hand and went tops. KP was not amused. But yeah, Scott, you're right. Doubles are bigger. Just makes sense sometimes. Yeah, certainly if you want 80 and below, and it makes sense.
177. 161.
The double is the 76, and you want 96. You hit a 20, double 8. If it's not a good guide, double 18 tops is the shot for sure, or double tops, double 18, whichever way around you want to do it.
I was going to say, I think he should stay there. I think it's such a good line. He does.
70.
Yep, totally agree.
$70 for Ward to top the group. When he's missed a big number, he did that earlier.
Isn't that mad, isn't it? Player who's averaging close to 108 misses a big 20.
We've all been there, Mace.
Oh, yeah.
Game show on the 6th leg.
Well, that's what you call using the guide perfectly.
7th and final leg, the best of order, please. John did through.
I think this deserved a deciding leg because these have both been fabulous in this contest.
Yeah, both averaging well into the hundreds. It deserved a decider. I wouldn't mind this one being the best of 31, 100. Personally.
Again, I know it's a discussion that comes up a lot. We always talk about the best players that don't have tour cards, and you can't tell me there's 128 better than these two when they're in this mood.
100.
I agree. Well, that's why they both were card holders. David Davidson, hello Mace. Any chance of a shout out for David and Steve-O on the way back from football? We are backing Big H. He's got plenty of backers in here tonight.
30.
Just a likeable lad, isn't he?
He is. Both of these guys on stage.
137.
Popular with players and officials. Two great guys. 177, in my opinion, is harder than a 180.
This is brilliant from O'Shea. Tees up tops after 12. He's going to come back to win it.
45. John Newcar,
tops
40.
for the Joker. 10s. And finds it. John O'Shea does win the final match of Group 2. It won't be enough for the Joker to go through, but a fabulous performance from him. Big H gets the 2 legs he requires to book his place in the semi-final, but Gilbert Vander Meijden will top Group 2 as the share a word. But just look at those numbers. Harry Ward's average dipped below in that final leg, but John O'Shea averaging 104.7, 50% on the outer ring. Absolutely stunning from him. But coming up after the break, we're going to get some analysis from Henry and Mace.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where the group stage action on Saturday night has been completed. Chris Mason joins myself to analyse what we've seen so far. These results then from the group stage matches. And as you can see, Kieran Teehan will take on Harry Ward and Gilbert Vander will take on Harry Gregory in our 2 semi-finals in 10 minutes' time. As I say, Chris Mason is alongside me in the studio. There's really only one place to start, and that's that last game. John O'Shea against Harry Ward. That is a Super Series classic.
Yeah, stunning, wasn't it? 99 average and 104 from O'Shea. Yeah, and they both played their part in what was a magical game. And John O'Shea playing the price like John Worley did. Too much of a slow start, and it's very hard to recover at this level. But he gave it his all, but just not quite enough.
I suppose he can at least go out with that high of a performance, even though he's going to be devastated in the end.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be. I'm not sure he'd be devastated. I just think he'll be a little frustrated. But he's got plenty to take away from it. In the interview with Phil Bars before the action this evening, he was referencing the fact that he's introduced a different element to his throw, a slightly longer stem, and listen, slowly but surely, it's been paying dividends. He's had 109 this week, 102, 104 there. Plenty to work with.
Well, let's talk about the players that have made their way through them to the semi-finals. Let's begin with Kieran Teehan, who at times when he's had to has really drawn some great bits out.
Yeah, his finishing under pressure has been key for him this evening, and he just looks a different player. I mean, coming into this, his 12 monthly averages were around, just shy of 82, 81.74, and where he's found this from, I'm not sure, but whatever he's doing back home, keep doing it because it's paying dividends, and super impressed with him.
And how many times have we seen a player like Kieran play like this, go under the radar, and then on the Saturday night pounce?
Yeah, and he knows how to win it, of course. He won the very first one here, Series 1. I think, was it week 1? So yeah, he knows what it takes to win it. He's been here many, many times. He's super experienced at the Super Series, and listen, if he wins it, we wouldn't go, oh, wow, that's a shock. But like I said, he's although the level is very high, you feel like it may need to be higher because Harry Ward looks just in such control. I know he lost that final game, but when someone plays like that against you, sometimes you just got to put your hands up and say Cadbury's.
Well, let's talk about Harry then in a bit more detail. What in particular have you been impressed by with him tonight? Harry Ward, this is.
Yeah, just again, just temperament, isn't it? You know, he knows he knows what he's capable of. A former Pro Tour winner, a tour card holder, and he seems to just be enjoying his darts. And a happy player is a dangerous player, as they say. And he just looks in control of every element of his game, and he's going to be tough to beat.
And you've been in the position that he's been in, the fact that playing professionally isn't the be-all and end-all for him. And you played on a week where you're playing other guys who got that pressure and expectation where you didn't. You could kind of feel, what is that position like?
Yeah, it's nice, and I say it to a lot of players. I said it to Lee Cox this week. Listen, no expectations allows you to play with an element of freedom. Don't get emotionally invested. There's no point. That doesn't end well for anybody. And I think it must be hard for Harry because he is such a good player and such a high-profile player that there is expectation. He's favourite to win it and favourite for a reason. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword with him, but he's handling it very well now.
From one Harry to another, Harry Gregory, he got off to a blistering start in his opening game and then just losing out in that last leg decider against Kieran.
Yeah, maybe he's the type of player that needs to play with something on the line. And I mean, he looked focused enough, but I don't think he was particularly concerned. And we see that with a lot of players in those dead rubber games. They want to win, but if they don't win, it doesn't matter. And some players need that adrenaline. They need that bit of jeopardy, and there wasn't in that game. But the problem for him, of course, is it affects who you play in the semi-final.
Well, let's talk about the other qualifier. That's Gilbert Vander. At points tonight, we've seen some really good stuff, but maybe at times also a couple of question marks against his name. Yeah, possibly, but it's a different environment. Although it's only a small crowd in, you are aware of them, and even though they're small, they're quite vocal. So you've got to get used to that. And when you've not had it for 5 consecutive days, when all of a sudden there's people in here, it has a slightly different feel. And he's not experienced at this level, at this stage, so it's something new for him. But write him off at your peril. So our semi-finals are now set. So let's have a look at that order of play once again, just to reassess and reconfirm those semi-finals for you. And we'll have a look at those semi-finals in a bit more detail now. Let's kick off with Teehan against Ward and how you see that going in your eyes.
Yeah, I make Harry Ward a favourite and quite a lively favourite in that one. But, you know, it's one of those you wouldn't... We've seen plenty of times from Harry, him being in excess of 100 in terms of averages. Although we've seen some good numbers from Teehan, he's not quite reached those kind of levels of play. So make Harry a favourite for that one.
Is it that quintessential battle of a power scorer against a very good finisher in that matchup?
Yeah, could well be. I think if Harry is not on his game and he offers up opportunities, Teehan's the type of player to take advantage.
And as far as the second semi-final is concerned, Gilbert against Harry Gregory, how do you call that one in your mind?
Yeah, that's a real tough one to call, isn't it? They know each other very well, played in Group A together, so there'll be no shocks or surprises for either of them. They're going to be aware of each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's got 4-3 written all over it for me, that one.
And in terms of overall, does Harry Ward look your man, or is there anybody else that stands out?
Like I say, I think when you look at the overall averages this week and who looks the most likely, you'd have to say Harry Ward, but like I say, Gilbert's got levels to his game, and so have Gregory. Whether they can match up to the levels that Harry Ward can produce, I'm not so sure, but we've not got long to find out.
We most certainly haven't. The action is about to get underway in the semi-finals here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We're very much looking forward to it, aren't we?
We are.
Indeed we are. Right, let's get the action underway then in the semi-finals here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. So kicking off for us is going to be Kieran Teehan up against Harry Ward. Kieran, the first ever winner of a night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, taking on Harry Ward, a former Players Champion. That all the way back in 2019, but two players that know exactly what it's like to win on the big stage. It's our first semi-final, and we're about to get underway.
20 may split this. Oh no, straight for it, and hits it. And a 17 darter in the deciding leg is enough. It's the players a bit. Oh wow, another 12. This guy has got...
Well, it's a game that should hit the heights here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And I'm not just talking about the tall stature of the two players. It's a game of significance. It's a game of importance. It's the semi-finals here at the Modus Super Series. The victor will make their way through to the final and one step closer towards the jackpot and a place at Champions Week. Chris Mason's made his way over to the commentary box to describe all of the action in the company of Phil Bars.
Welcome back, everyone, and here we are, semi-final time at the Modus Super Series, Week 8. 4 players remain, and this should be an absolute belter, and I fully agree with you, Mace. I think Harry Ward is favourite, and for me, I just think he's got levels and gears, and I think it's going to be too much.
Yeah, that's exactly my train of thought. He's just got a little bit more quality to his game. That's not saying it's a foregone conclusion, of course, as we've seen all of the players involved in the semi-finals capable of finding one of those magical matches. But it's, for me, Harry Ward's the most likely to produce one of those. The most experienced player in the field of 4.
Also, I know John O'Shea defeated him, but I think the quick turnaround, the fact 10 minutes and he's back on is a good thing for him.
Yeah, totally agree. Just give him time to maybe have a quick comfort break and just sort of cool down slightly. And although it would, like I say, it was a defeat, it was a fabulous display, and you're aware of that.
Yeah, he's lost to a man averaging near 105.
Exactly.
96.
That is definitely going in MSS Gold.
Absolutely. Love a bit of MSS Gold.
Another reason for all of those tuning in, watching the action, to subscribe. Hit that button. Don't forget, when we get to 37,000, there's enough of you watching that aren't subscribed that will get us to 37,000. When we do, you'll see me take
140.
Henry on the stage.
How many do we need?
Just 200 and something, I think.
Give me 10 minutes, I can make some burner accounts.
60. Getting a car 128.
Treble 20 for Bull. It's not going to get a go. So, Big
63.
H, 134. I should imagine he's going to go 54 tops.
51, 51, 32. Ooh.
101. Getting a car 65.
The old German battle. Is it Big Gabe getting the better of
45.
Tretzko?
Out of your car 33.
And Teehan has missed 2 darts to hold. Oh, he's done that a few times tonight. Missed the big number. It's only going to get 1 dart to break.
25.
That's something he needs to work on.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a lack of concentration and focus. You take it for granted.
Game shot on the first leg. Here it is. Second leg, Harry
He
for
has
the first. Game on.
been very good in them moments where legs that he should have lost or could have lost, he's finding a way to win.
43.
And only a 43 from Harry Ward. And is that a reaction to the frustration of fluffing his lines in leg 1?
Yeah, should have had 2 darts at double 16. Made a mess of it. And since then, Teehan has stepped in. But this is the Harry Ward we all know.
140.
Tom Walsh, hi Chris and Phil from Ireland. Been watching since day 1 in 2020.
57.
Remember those days?
Fondly.
Great to have you along, Tony, and yeah, streaming from my living room. All
59.
those hours of testing, mates. Remember them well, yeah?
Yeah. In the early hours of the morning. Chris, just press that button, download that, press this.
23.
My goodness, I'm a bit of a technophobe, so that was a challenging time. What was it we were using to do our chats? Was it Team? Zoom. Yes, that was a challenge in itself.
Yeah, back then, if you bought shares in Zoom before it all happened, you are now a billionaire.
125. Aliaka 128.
Mark Everard, if you take on Henry and he gets
88.
under 300
Aliaka,
points through
156.
checkout, I'll buy him dinner.
For the Barney. Not going to go, so Ward will come back 3 in hand at tops to level us up.
96. Aliaka 40.
For a level game.
Game
Clinical.
shot on the second leg. Harry
From
Ward.
Big H.
Yep. 16 darts only.
Third leg, Kieran to throw first.
Level
on.
game. Do you think he will be feeling the pressure?
No, I just don't think anything phases him.
57.
I just think he's just, yeah, whatever.
He does have a good nature about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, just so laid back that nothing phases him. Nothing gets under his
125.
skin. You see some players, you know what buttons to press, but just don't think
43.
anything bothers him.
He works in the family business, doesn't he, as a
Bricky,
bricklayer?
yeah.
When the rumours were initially there
100.
about he was going to hand back his tour card, I remember I said, "Are you sure?" Those wet winter mornings, laying 9-inch concrete blocks. And he went, "I love it, Mace." Well, do what makes you happy, pal.
85. 96.
Tony Walsh, thanks for the shout out. Why was Dave Pallett announced for next week but now appears to not be playing? Personal reasons that I do believe.
Yeah,
People do have them.
Yeah, I think things happen, and 1 minute you can play, then circumstances change, and that's the fluidity of the Super Series. There's always someone that wants to come and play.
Absolutely.
Apart
Bonus.
from me.
Yeah,
60.
and me.
This needs to be big here from Teehan. Even a 140 is not enough. It had to be a max.
60.
I'm just looking at the draw for tomorrow in the Euro Tour. Getaway Price against Gary Anderson. Josh Rock, Michael Smith, Humphreys, Bunting.
56.
Richie Edhouse having a wonderful run, isn't he?
Playing beautifully at the moment.
Johnny Clayton, MBG. I'll be watching that tomorrow.
58. Out of your car, 64.
So 64, 16's region, 16 for tops. Tops for 2-1.
44.
Clips the bottom wire, you could hear it. A little clink.
No, I don't know whether they call this the Della anymore or the Humphreys.
Oh, it's the Humphreys. Can only live in the past for so
Out of
long.
your car, 20.
It's all about the present.
Game shot on the third leg. Harry Ward.
That's the most emotion I've ever seen from Harry Ward. We've got a fist pump.
Fourth leg out
Rare
into the first.
response
Game on.
from Big H. Hey, Mace, no 37k. No, we will get to 37k. It's just when we do is when I'll play him. I don't know why so many people watch but don't subscribe. I don't get that.
Yeah, everyone, click that subscribe button. Give us a like today as well. And then turn that notification bell on and you'll know that every time we upload something.
Yep, there is plenty of shoulder content. Where's Henry tonight? He's presenting.
60.
I was just sat with him, talking to him.
Finals night at the Super Series.
81.
And I got the call.
Who's taking Pallett's place next week? Has that been announced?
45.
I'm going to say no just in case, so I'm sure we might find out later this evening.
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't be allowed to say, but
I'm pretty sure it's penciled in for one of your studio chats with Henry.
Ah, right, okay.
I don't want to.
That's why you read the script.
42.
One of us had to. We've just had the cue from our wonderful production team. It is common knowledge, and it is big baby Adam Lipscomb that has replaced him.
Well, let's hope he qualifies for Saturday night, because he does bring a crowd. Local
96.
lad, Porchester, isn't it? He's from.
Yeah, 15 minutes or so from here.
$26.
Yeah, last time he got to finals night, there wasn't a spare seat. We're having to find room for him.
140.
Ward looking at tops for 3-1 to put himself one away from the final.
Game shot on the fourth
And
leg.
Big H is
Harry
now
Ward.
on the cusp, one away from a place in the Week 8 final.
Kieran to throw first. Game on. $140. $93. $140.
Good response. 3-1 down, back to back 140s.
Thing is, this is on his throw. He wants to be doing this on the Ward
45.
throw. And in the next 3 legs, I can't see Ward not getting an opportunity to seal the deal.
Someone asking, when's
100.
Big Ash coming back? He's playing in the Influencer versus player doubles event a week on Sunday. It goes out live on our
41.
Modus Super Series YouTube channel on the Sunday at 3 p.m. Another reason to subscribe and hit that alert bell, and you'll get sent an alert when it does go live for that very event.
59.
You're on holiday then, aren't you?
I am indeed. Kim from Denmark Community, is there any chance of any
92.
Danish players
62.
soon? Now Benjamin Roos has the tour card. There is qualifiers over there, isn't there?
The ADC Europe qualifiers will probably be the option
Teehan.
for that one.
Yeah, no doubt. We did have a big influx, didn't we, of
Six-leg Harry to throw first.
Scandinavian
Game on.
players. Pretty sure that the ones that don't have a card will be penciled in for a return once the qualifiers are done and dusted.
100.
Yeah, some of the Swedish players we've had in, and seems a real hotbed right now. Obviously, Andreas Harrison, Anton Östlund.
Harrison already qualified for Champions Week.
Victor Tingström, Oskar Lukasiak.
140.
Question for me, why has this not been supported in the venue compared to last week? Could be many things. It's a warm weekend down in Portsmouth. People may have
50.
gone away, or it is coming up to the end of the month. There may be too much month at the end of the money. Who knows?
134.
It's not really the crowd idea was, or just letting a. I mean, it only holds 120 anyway. It was more just of an option just to see. It doesn't affect the product in any way. We thought it would be just nice for the players and nice for fans to support. It was more really for the friends and fans of friends and family of the players really that have qualified to come and give them some support.
Not enough for Teehan and Ward. 68 for a place in the final.
Single 16 for double.
36.
One match start has come and gone, but he will return. But how much pressure will this be under? The maximum of pressure. Superb from Teehan. Says to Harry Ward, you have to serve this out. Double 16 for a place in the final. Double 8. One more. And he's missed.
16.
Darts have come and gone. Is this now the time for Teehan? He's been second best for much of this semi-final. But all of a sudden, is he about to go favourite?
Double 6. And he will go favourite because he will have the throw in the deciding leg. So 4 missed match darts for Harry Ward.
Game on, thank you.
Will he pay the ultimate price?
Thank you.
Goes back to something that we said earlier, Mace. If your name's on pot.
100.
And when you think the way it's gone for Teehan so far tonight, it could well be the case.
40.
Could have lost to Worley. Could have lost to Gregory. Could have lost to Ward. And Ward's only started
100.
with 40. And finds himself 160 adrift.
He's gone from the verge of the final
90.
to the verge of elimination. He was 3-1 up. He's missed 4 match starts. And now Teehan is a huge favourite.
100.
This has to be massive. And it's not going to be. Ward has imploded in the decider.
38. $127.
Fabulous from Teehan. All of a sudden, he's 2 darts away from the final. And has all the time in the world. 74 for a huge upset. 20 and tops. Tops for Teehan.
54.
And he's missed a match start, but will return.
$81.
Starting to boil up a bit as well. So for what looked like an unlikely place in the final, it's in Teehan's hands. 5-5.
Game shot on
And
the
Kieran Teehan somehow finds a way to win and make it through to the final. Here are the numbers. 81.91 for Teehan. 80.09 for Harry Ward. Some 19 points off the pace of his previous match, and he was undone by 4 match darts at a double. Just 3 from 12. Much more efficient for Teehan. 4 from 9. When we come back, it's semi-final number 2. Harry Gregory against Gilbert Vander Meijden.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where Kieran Teehan has won his place into the final here at the live lounging ports. He has got the better of Harry Ward to seal his place in the finale in around about half an hour's time. So next up for us, we're going to watch Gilbert Vander Meijden up against Harry Gregory for the right to face Kieran in the finale. It's our second semi-final, and it's time to get it underway.
And it goes, last start in hand. Gilbert Vander Meijden beats John O'Shea 4-1 to book his place
tonight's semi-final, and in it goes, a 15 dart leg to get over the line.
For the right to make it through to their first final here at the Modus Super Series is Gilbert Vander up against Harry Gregory. Only 3 players remain now in the race to pick up the top prize in Week 8. And watching all of the action in the commentary box is Chris Mason and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Henry, and welcome back, everyone, to semi-final number 2. The winner of this will play Kieran Teehan, who caused an upset coming from 3-1 down to beat Harry Ward. But now all eyes on these two. And Mace, during the break, we've been given a great stat from one of our friends in Holland. Thank you very much for this, Patrick, that he says, interesting fact for you guys, Jeroen Milk, Jimmy Van Ski and Gilbert Van der Meijden all play in the same Super League team, and they're close to promotion to the highest level in Holland. We've seen some of those Super League teams. Jeroen and Jimmy have already qualified for a Champions Week, so Gilbert could complete the hat-trick tonight and then potentially play Jimmy in Champions Week.
Would be absolutely remarkable. If there is any mods about, start banning the Wallopers, who seem to be coming home from the pub after their first pint ever.
Always remember the first pint ever.
42.
Yeah. Do try our best to keep the chat as
95.
sensible as possible. Who do you fancy in this one, Barzy?
Pre-game, I thought that Harry Gregory may be too consistent. I think
Anne-Marie and Ash.
That's like you're two locals.
Yeah, they're cheating on us.
139.
Drinking somewhere else, how dare they?
I think that Gilbert's more explosive, but I think Gregory's more reliable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally
Totally
get where you're coming from. That's an interesting route. It's very Merv King.
55.
I don't like it.
I don't get it.
132.
Playing the percentages, I know you make favour double 16, but I don't get it.
I'd rather have a double than a dart at the ball.
100%. Just the smallest target.
Can moderators ban David Martin, please? Thank you.
60. Gilbert Carr, 25.
And now he's got to tidy up. It's going to be 2 at double 8, but shouldn't have had to have burned a dart.
Game shot on the first.
Well, he's got away with it in the end.
Second leg added to through first.
Got away with it, but board management needs to be better in that situation, because if you're playing a bigger scorer, you're not going to get that other opportunity.
Correct. Welcome along to the action, Dragon D. Yes, David, some 24 years ago.
100.
Enjoy your time out. Goodbye.
57.
Well,
100.
bye-bye, Sean. Join your little friend. Enjoy your nap.
56.
It's interesting, Mace, that these two, first thing on Monday morning, were the two outsiders for the title, and one of them is going to compete for it in about 20 minutes' time.
93.
Well, I did give everybody a heads up on Gilbert Van der Meijden, and
95.
I tipped him up at 22-1 on Monday morning at 9:30ish.
I was here, I heard it.
100. Harry 113.
Can just set this up and
97.
does. But Van der Meijden has an outside
108.
chance. 2-0 lead. Needs to find a treble.
Awkward. Oh, very nearly found it.
Just clip the fly on the way through. You could see the awkward angle it went in at.
56.
Yep.
Harry 16.
Took the energy out of the dart. So, for 1-1, which is about right for me.
Harry Gregory.
Yeah, a fair reflection on the opening two legs, I feel.
Gilbert to throw first. Game on. $60.
Perfect first start.
I was going to say, well called, Phil, and he'd be more shocked that he didn't hit a max.
It's just, you know, when you just see a dart sat up like that and you're just saying that's some...
Yeah, top of the treble.
97.
Question for Chris. Who was your biggest Dutch rival?
81.
Barney. MVG wasn't around in... Well, I actually played MVG in a massive tournament in Holland. Can't remember who I played in the semi, but Merv King was playing MVG in the semi, and I was saying, oh, it's all right for you playing a kid in the semi, and he said, have you not seen this kid play yet? And I was just sort of like winding him up, and he gave Merv a bit of a spanking in the semi, but I just managed to edge out MVG in the final. But yeah, by the time he came around, oh wow, absolutely outstanding. The Rob Cross. Yeah, so I didn't really have a rivalry with MVG because I was pretty much done and dusted when he was doing bits.
The 180 from Vander Meijden was exceptional to set up the double 12, and Harry Gregory says, not on my watch, son, have that.
Yeah, back-to-back 140s, one in the scoring phase, one in the finishing phase for a 12 dart leg. And a break of throw, of course.
91.
Yeah, and in his Group A, those ton plus finishes were the biggest feature of his game. I mean, he was hoovering up, not quite that big, so like the 101s to the 124s in and around that area.
$100.
It's been a good response from Gilbert.
93.
Down to a 2-dart finish to instantly break back. Is he going to be under any kind of pressure? Oh, he is. What a recovery in darts 2 and 3.
The fact he's just taken out 140 as well, Gilbert will be going, I've got to hit this.
Yeah.
57.
The way he's hitting treble 18s, I think that'll be destination number 1. Oh, that's close.
94. Gilbert 40.
Vander Meijden now looking at tops to break straight back. Tops for 2-all. And we are level once again. It's just warming up. We're getting emotion from both of them now. They know what is on the line here at the Modus Super Series. It's a place in the final. It's a massive paycheck and a place in Champions Week.
Ben says Hinks has had a few more words to the fans than normal for a Modus Saturday. Yeah, when there's not too many people in, you can tend to pick out people because there isn't that sort of wall of rumbling noise.
Yeah, it's such an intimate venue is the thing. You won't get anything other than like it in darts. You're that close to the stage that literally you could hear everything.
140.
Cameron asks, is it possible to get a shout out for the University of Stirling Darts Club, please? There you go.
120.
Good luck for the rest of the year.
$41. Gilbert 147.
Fabulous cover shooting.
131.
Sets it up. Vander Meijden is now on the verge of going one away from the final.
75.
Oh, that took a
16.
horrible deflection. Could have given Gilbert a slightly different look. But he finds the double 4, loves that side of the board.
Vander Meijden is one away.
Six leg Harry to throw first.
Harry Gregory
Game on.
now has no room to manoeuvre, has to win back-to-back legs here in the semi-final.
Yeah, at the point of no return.
58.
2 to play, has to win them both. Good standard as well, Gilbert, 102.63. Mid-90s for Gregory.
Yeah, fabulous semi-final from both of these.
$57.
Is that the visit that does it?
Yeah, just sort of running out of ideas at the moment. But that can happen when you've got a player keeping you under the pump.
It's advantage Vander Meijden.
57.
He's taken the darts and you can see the frustration there from Harry. Just needs to recompose himself. This one's not done yet.
100.
Ken asks, hi Chris, is Shanghai on the 18s the way to go on a 108 finish?
95. Gilbert Carr, 167.
Not for me. But if you like going that way, go that way. It's a lot of it's personal preference. Nothing wrong with going that way, but it's not my bag.
Yeah, that one is a personal preference. There's some shots where we go, that is poor board management, but I think the 108 depends on the player.
96.
I mean, if I found in warming up that I was finding the treble 18 with regularity on 108, I may be tempted to go that way. It leaves a shot either side.
It's going to get a dart at double 18 for a place in the final.
92.
One has come and gone.
Yeah, and he's been brilliant over there this week. Is he going to go traditional? No. New school.
I'm more of a fan of that way.
58. Gilbert Carr, 18.
But double 9. Oh, split. He did this earlier. And with the same outcome, Gilbert Vander Meijden books his place in the final. A 4-2 winner over Harry Gregory. He will now have 10 minutes or so to get ready for that final. But a brilliant performance from him, averaging 99.89. Kieran Teehan awaits for him in the final. But coming up after the break, we'll have some analysis from Henry and Chris.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where the final is about to get underway here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Myself and Chris Mason have been watching all of the action, and this is what we have seen up to press on this Saturday evening. Before the break, Gilbert Vander got the better of Harry Gregory by 4-2, setting up a final against Kieran Teehan. It's the Republic of Ireland against the Netherlands in the final of week 8. Chris Mason's been watching both semi-finals in the culturals. Let's begin with semi-final number 1. Kieran Teehan getting over the line against Harry Ward. Doing the right things at the right time seems to be the phrase for Kieran tonight.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a charmed evening, let's put it that way. Won his group games 4-3 and semi-final 4-3. He's come through a few scrapes and dodged a few bullets along the way, but expect the unexpected with the Super Series, and some players can just go under the radar a little bit and just get those key moments right. He's certainly not been the best player tonight. He's been the most reliable and he's taken his chances, so all credit to him. How many times do we see big tournaments won by players who have to dodge bullets and face match starts, and he's done that tonight.
I hear more than any other time, because of the frivolity of this format being best of 7, sometimes just one mistake is enough to send somebody out, but send somebody through as well.
Yeah, and that's what's happened tonight, especially when we're talking about Kieran Teehan. He's just done the right things at the right times.
And as far as Gilbert Vander Meijden's concerned, victory against Harry Gregory, who's had a great week, but will be disappointed to fall at that particular hurdle.
Yeah, he just looked like he was forcing it a little bit too much, but that was mainly down to the level of play of Gilbert, who was outstanding, averaged just shy of 100. And sometimes when a player is piling it on, it does make you force, and that's the lack of experience. You've got to almost just sort of take a step back and reset and just go back into sort of a default mode, and he wasn't able to do that, but he's a young lad.
We've seen this from Gilbert in the Group B campaigns. Actually, as the evening sessions have gone along, he's got better.
Yeah, I think he's a class player. I've followed him from his last sort of introduction into the Super Series, and but just been tracking his numbers, and that was the reason why I thought at the beginning of the week 22-1 was just way too big. I certainly had him down for definitely qualifying for finals night, and then, as we know, on a finals night, absolutely anything can happen, and we may see that with Kieran Teehan lifting the trophy and qualifying for Champions Week.
And it feels like for both finals, and we'll talk about the final in a little bit more detail in just a second, that the winner of it's going to be a breakthrough for different reasons. Yeah,
absolutely. For Kieran, who's come through a bit of a torrid time and seems to have found a solution and is playing much better. It's great to see, and certainly for Gilbert, this would be huge to have two players from the same Super League team qualify for Champions Week. It would be some story.
And Jerome Meot's going to be here in Series 8 as well. Right, we'll talk about the final in a little bit more detail in just a second. But next week, well, we have got a 2-time world champion in action. Bo Greaves will be playing here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. She is the headline name in Group B, up against Adam Lipscomb, who, remember, was the person who had the 9-dart hit against him by Fallon Sherrick here back in August.
Yeah, it's fascinating. There's a few new names in action next week, which is always good to see. I'm a huge fan of Sebastian. I think he's a player that we'll use this year to rebuild, and I think we'll see him go on to do big things over the next couple of years. Be good to see Thomas Lovely in action as well. He's had a decent enough couple of years. Daniel Lee, who will be the spotter's nightmare, and great to see Stuart Kellett, a long-time tour card holder, and I think he was a former BDO number 1. Be interesting to see where his game is right now.
In terms of Scott Mitchell and Kevin Painter, two players who have done well here, but they'll feel like they should have had a weekly win under their CV.
Absolutely, and maybe next week's the week to do it. You don't know. I mean, Scott Mitchell will be buoyed from recent success in the internationals, the British internationals, where England did a clean sweep, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see again where you never quite know where their games are and what kind of form they've got coming into it. But both have had some decent stuff going on in the seniors.
And hey, your record's the only commentator to win his on the line.
Yeah, yeah, that may go next week. Who knows?
Well, we're going to be watching the action 9:30 on Monday morning on the Super Series YouTube channel. Right, let's preview the final in a little bit more detail. It's Kieran against Gilbert. Teehan's won the bullseye in the practice room. In a game like this, how important is that going to be? Because it feels like a tight one on paper.
Yeah, massive, isn't it? In a race to 4, having the advantage of throws in legs 1, 3, 5 and 7 if it goes that far. could well be the deciding factor. And again, I've said it all night that I feel like Teehan's going to have to find another level to his game, but I'm also a great believer in destiny, and if your name's on pot, lad, no matter what's thrown at you or what situations you find yourself in, if the stars align, you're meant to win, and that may be the case tonight with Kieran Teehan. But even against the throw, I just about make Gilbert just a slight favourite.
Is this final a little bit like Kieran's semi-final against Hayward when we compare the two factors of the two players?
Yeah, absolutely. Harry Ward was a big favourite for that one for a reason. His numbers are superior to that of Teehan's, and Gilbert's numbers are superior to that of Kieran in the final. But records are for DJs. It's one of those things. In finals, that all goes out the window. But on the basis of what we've seen so far, I would just about make Gilbert a marginal favourite.
It's certainly going to be a very tight final to join a Champions League field, which, as things stand, it's really hard to kind of call a definitive favourite right now.
Yeah, it's a nice mix of players, isn't there? I really enjoy watching Andreas Harrison play. Dirty Harry. The first time I think I've ever saw him play was on one of the Euro tours, and fell in love with his action. He's one to look out for, and he's another one with a ridiculously high ceiling. We've seen it in the week that he qualified. He hit some monstrous averages.
Well, it really is going to be an interesting chance. We've got a very interesting final ahead of us. Chris, we'll let you head to the commentary box to describe all of the action in our final here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. This is Kieran Teehan take on Gilbert Vander Meijden for the title and a place at Champions Week.
Kieran Teehan somehow finds a way to win.
And with the same outcome, Gilbert Vander Meijden books his place.
Well, these were two of the outsiders at the beginning of the week to go on and claim the glory here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, but they find themselves in the final. Kieran Teehan was the first ever man to lift the trophy underneath this roof of the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, whilst Gilbert Vander Meijden is looking for that maiden success here on the South Coast. Who's going to pick up the trophy? Who's going to win their place at Champions Week? Let's find out in the company of Chris Mason. And first, good evening again to Phil Bars.
Well, here we go, everyone. It is finals time here at the Modus Live Lounge for the Week 8 competition. Gilbert Vander Meijden on screen there takes on Kieran Teehan, and Teehan has won the ball, and in 10 to 15 minutes time, Mace, how big could that be?
Yeah, for me, all about the start. I think whoever starts the best and grabs this one by the scruff of the neck will go on to win that wonderful little trophy. Some great names on that.
And Teehan's going to have to get out the blocks quicker than he did in the semi-final. Rode his luck, played fabulous towards the end, but if you give Vander Meijden that much of a lead, I don't think you're coming back.
No, I think he has I think he's one of those that's a good leader. 55. Likes to front run. Many players do, of course, but some players can front run and feel the pressure. I don't think he's made that way.
58.
And he's just got to be careful not to want it too much.
100.
Yeah, just let it happen and be natural up there as much as you can in this position. The next 7 legs, potentially. There's a lot on the line for these two. It's a massive paycheck for both.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's that place where you can play for 25 grand in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's the psychological effect as well. It's what it does for your confidence going forward. And both of these players have big ambitions. And a win here could be the trigger to go on, like you say, to
59.
Win Champions Week. And possibly go on to get a card in January. And when you've got 30 odd grand in the bank, it's a nice little insurance policy. It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it just pays for everything that you need to.
123.
1, 2, 3. treble 18. Didn't go for it. Understandable in that
99.
situation.
Yeah, like that play.
Yeah, clarity of thought. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Not getting caught up in the emotion of the game or the occasion.
Trying to be flash. Not trying to make a statement. He's trying to win a match.
Right now as well, that the fact that Teehan has won on that stage before, I know it was a while ago, but he knows how to get over the line in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, and well, financially,
100.
Gilbert Vander Meijden wouldn't have played in a match worth this amount of money.
81.
Do the players get a trophy they can keep? Nope, can't spend trophies, mate.
They get a nice, I was going to say check, but it's not. They get a nice back transfer.
Yeah, well, annoyingly, that they got rid of that check, and I wanted one of those.
I'm a huge fan of the novelty check.
Oh, I love the big check.
Props to the ADC on their recent weekend. What a check that was.
Yep, they do the big novelty
96.
checks.
Bigger the better.
$32.
Certainly is ego, but doesn't really affect the situation.
58.
Fairly comfortable for Vander Meijden on throw here.
Yeah, good response. Didn't get bogged down with leg one. Straight into leg two.
100. Gilbert Carr, 126.
Again, normal route is 19s, but doesn't need to go that way.
46.
That could have been better. He's not done as well as he should have done in that situation.
Leaves himself a bit vulnerable, doesn't he?
Yeah, if this is a big visit, all of a sudden that 80 becomes tricky. Because if you don't hit the
81.
treble and you block the top, then you're
80.
searching for an angle and forcing it.
And he's gone the 48-32 this time. Found the 48.
64.
I know he's hit, but I just don't like that way. I just don't get it.
No. Merv King absolutely swears by it, doesn't he? He will not be changed.
45. Gilbert Carr, 16.
I'm going to see if he hits this first, and I am going to say what I'm going to say, and people might not like it, but I'm going to say it anyway in a minute.
That's your job.
Is it going to be 1-1? It is going to be 1-1. Going back to the point about you said about Merv King, he won't be changed X, Y, and Z. There's a reason he hasn't won a major or anything significant. Board management is key.
Ooh.
Give yourself maximum opportunities.
Opened a can of worms there, Barsey.
But it is. Give yourself maximum opportunities to win titles and win games, and going certain ways limits your opportunities to win.
It's a big shout, and this is a big reply.
180.
But I'm not wrong now, am I? In terms of board management.
No. Board management can win and lose your games.
Fabulous leg this is.
$93.
I almost went into full Wayne then. Just pretend it's in. Considering how poor Kieran was in leg two, again,
64.
Fabulous response.
Well, they're both doing it, aren't they? On throw, both dominant.
45. Gilbert Carr, 117.
Well, that's given Kieran plenty of breathing space at this 117. Treble 19 for tops.
41.
Again, same principle there. That setup should have been better.
Yep, leaves himself open to pressure.
57.
But he can't
Gilbert
find the
Carr,
treble.
76.
Should get 2 darts if he finds a treble. Does. double 8. That looks a great guy. Just bounce off and does. Teehan is in front again. He's at the halfway point. The Irishman is 2 away from the title.
Fourth Gilbert to throw first. Game on. $140.
And again, on throw, Gilbert starts strong.
They've both been strong on throw so far in this final. Remember, Vander Meijden will have to break
82.
the Teehan throw at some point if he's to win this. And he's running out of opportunities.
Sure is.
100.
Doesn't look particularly concerned at the moment. There's no panic. And maybe a bit now.
It's got better and better as the night's gone on, Teehan.
Yeah, averaging over 90 at the moment.
55.
Gilbert unable to replicate that semi-final performance at the moment.
Now he's vulnerable. This is the chance.
Teehan sort of bang on his numbers for the week here in the semi-final and final. Whoa. Back-to-back
Celebration as well.
maxes.
Nice to see John Worsley sticking around in the crowd there, cheering the guys on.
140.
It's not in, Gilbert, I can tell you. Look all you want.
Thank you.
Close, but no cigar.
Huge moment here.
So good to see Teehan playing with so much belief.
39. Go to the car, 66.
Now, for someone who loves double 18, I am
50.
flabbergasted.
Go to the car,
Astounded.
20.
Treble 10, double 18 for someone that's left double 18 so much this week. And now Teehan looking at double 10, 3-1 to go within one. Teehan is within one of the title. The Irishman has been in this situation before. And now all of a sudden,
Game on.
Gilbert Vander Meijden is under the cosh. Has to win 3 on the spin.
Well, we're not wrong in calling him Boris the Bullet Dodger tonight. But he's not dodging any bullets in this final. 92.03 the average, 84.68 for Gilbert.
81.
I have to say, from this position, it's Teehan's to lose.
Absolutely. Summed it up perfectly. Group stage and semi-final, he dodged bullets.
58.
But right now, he is purring away.
And every match he's been involved in this evening has gone to a deciding leg.
60.
We called it early on that if your name's on something, we
57.
see it so often in sport. Doesn't matter what happens. If it's destiny, it's destiny.
Absolutely, if the stars align. And at the moment, they're aligning perfectly for Teehan.
80.
280 points from victory. Vander Meijden has to hit big.
And his second weekly title.
140.
Has there been a bigger gap in between titles? This has got to be the biggest gap in between titles, surely.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a bigger one. He's going to leave a finish.
140.
Teehan is within touching distance of the title. What pressure will this 140 be under?
None.
46. Turn the car, 140.
Kieran Teehan, is this your moment for a second weekly title at the Super Series? Another. Just set this up. Do not bust.
100.
Brilliant. Brilliant from Teehan. Made sure, played it safe, and will come back with match starts in hand.
Yeah, and
65.
a worthy
Turn the
winner
car,
of the
40.
final, Phil, that's for sure. It's been outstanding.
He has Teehan Stairs down tops. Looks a great guide. Surely this one. The final takes another twist.
Well, I don't think he can believe none of those have found the target. Well, he should go ball this time. Treble 20, and that's not a bad guide. If he can find the treble. Yes, bullseye to save it in spectacular style.
110.
Thrown brilliantly from Vander Meijden, and it just missed the target. Kieran Teehan, second chance for the title. Teehan is the winner. Celebration to the crowd. Kieran Teehan picks up his second weekly title here at the Modus Super Series, booking his place at Champions Week. A fabulous final for the Irishman. Look what it means to him. He played some super stuff, dodged some bullets, but in the final was magnificent. A 4-1 winner, averaging 89. 4 maximums on the way. There we have it. There are the numbers. 89 average, 4 maximums, 4 from 10 on the outer ring. Super stuff from him. It all turned in leg number 4, where he found that breaker throw, and Vander Meijden never recovered from that situation. But we spoke earlier about luck, and when your name's on the pot, your name's on the pot, and it looks as if it's another one for Kieran Teehan. He was our first winner here at the Modus Live Lounge, and he has backed it up with another title. Super stuff. But it's been a great night of darts all the way across. Both group games were absolutely superb. 2 great semi-finals. And here we go to the stage, and Mr. Paul Hinks.
Stage 7, Week 8, champion, Kieran Teehan.
Well, Kieran Teehan does it again. He was the first ever winner here at the Modus Super Series, and he is now a champion once more. And look at the glee, look at the smile on his face. He is beaming from ear to ear. Well, he has done it again, Kieran Teehan. Once again, a weekly winner at the Modus Super Series. And he's taking all the adulation he can get from the crowds. He's used to this feeling, and he is going to enjoy it once more. Kieran Teehan departs the stage, a victor here at the Modus Super Series for a second time. And have a look at these scenes, have a look at these pictures here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. So Kieran Teehan wins it for a second time here in Portsmouth, and Chris Mason is alongside me here in the studio. Well, he's waited a while for that second title, and eventually Kieran Teehan's got over the line.
Yeah, he just wouldn't be denied tonight, would he? He just found a way every time, come through adversity, and took his opportunities. And in the final, bizarre choice of shots for Gilbert on 66, considering it's a player that absolutely will do anything to leave double 18, opts to go for the ball double 8, and then could have gone 5 double 18 and chose to go the 9 route. Yeah, still baffled by that. And Barzy brought it up. It's all about ball management sometimes, and yeah, credit to Teehan.
Do you think the situation got a bit better with Gilbert in the end?
Yeah, could have done. Yeah, could have done. It could have been one of those that he just overthought it rather than, like I say, sometimes you just got to go into a default mode and just rely on your own throw and just try your best to just get over the line.
Well, we've got another guest with us, Kieran. We just sat on the mic. That's all right. We might need that. Kieran, many congratulations. Well, you've waited a while for title number 2. So I suppose you're a relieved man, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't feel right on it.
But joys of live TV. I'm just going to get you to switch that mic on just for a second.
There you go.
There we go.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know, I didn't feel like I played well all night, to be honest. I felt very tight for some reason, and I just couldn't get my focus going. But I felt the only good game I seen, like real good game all night, was Harry and John O'Shea. And I know it was just very edgy, but look, I couldn't care less if I average 60. If I win, I've often lost averaging 99, 100, you know. So that's just great to get a win. Brilliant.
Well, you were talking all night long about Kieran's ability under pressure, maybe sometimes being outscored in particular moments in particular matches, but when it came to the finishing, he was so clutch, wasn't he?
Yeah, and tonight the scoring wasn't an issue. He loads of 180s, decent numbers all night, and just taking opportunities. And sometimes that's all you can do. If someone offers you up an opportunity, you've still got to hit the double, and ultimately that's what you did all night. And I mean, what a reverse in fortunes, because he had a torrid time at the recent Challenge Tour. I did hear you in an interview with Barzy saying that you've really been applying yourself a little bit more back home and playing a lot more locally.
Yeah, I've been playing, to be honest, like, I'm using like ADC comps and stuff as practice, you know, and I'm still playing local leagues and all this kind of thing, but like that, before I got my tour card in the first place, I was always out 3 or 4 nights a week playing, so I've gone back doing that, and it's just simplifying the games well. Like me and my dad are very close, you know, we talk on the phone for every tournament, and I heard Gary Anderson say only a few weeks ago, he said, keep your dart straight and the rest will look after itself. And that was what I was wrecking my head tonight. I wasn't keeping the dart straight. But during the week I was, you know, but like even with if you get a 60, like don't get frustrated, because it will come once they're straight. Once you start spraying them into the 5s and 1s, that's what like frustrates me.
Was this week the ultimate test of that mindset?
Yeah.
In terms of knowing that sometimes you're going to have your frustration, you're going to have your ups and your downs, and see how you recover to that on a big stage like this. Yeah, no,
I'm delighted, to be honest. Like, great week. When I played Harry there in the semis, you know, he's got the better of me the last 2 nights, but I know he gave me. I got a bit of luck tonight. No, I must say, I'll admit that. But it's often went the other way where I got bad luck for a long time. So you have to, as Chris said, you have to take your chance when they come. You know.
What's that say about names on pot, lad?
Yeah, listen, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it was very much meant to be for him tonight. But like I say, you've got to play well enough to be waiting for those kind of mistakes, and sometimes you can force a mistake out of your opponent by applying pressure. You know, you can't have any kind of physical involvement, but what you can do is, especially when there's a crowd, you can hit that key shot that creates a bit of tension, and then step in and take advantage. And he did that brilliantly all night.
Well, we're just going to show you a graphic on this monitor here, Kieran, which I think you're going to like a lot, because this is the winners so far in the Super Series in Series 8. You're going to join your fellow countryman, Conor Heenahan.
We might share that week.
Into the finals, and I suppose now that's your next week. You've had a crack at a Champions Week before. How does it compare to Series? I want to be careful, because one of your fellow players that week's alongside you.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant to be back. Obviously, there's everyone who wins a week here is top player. You know, you don't get these wins by luck.
No, and it'll give you something now to really focus on as well, which will help the other parts of your game and you know, the other tours that you play. And when you've got something this big to prepare for, everything else sort of will fall into place. And got 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. And I'm back for Champions Week, and I'm looking forward. No, you're all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing him have a good go, because the improvements he's made in recent months and weeks is impressive, and this confidence he's going to get from lifting that trophy is going to be massive.
I say, what kind of springboard is this going to be for you now, Kieran, looking ahead to the rest of 2024?
Well, I don't really know, but hopefully it's going to lead to a lot more wins. I said to I don't know, was it yourself or Phil, that I'd love to add another one of these titles this year, but I didn't expect to come this quick. My main goal was to make Saturday night, to be honest. And then, like, once I make Saturday night, I always fancy my chances. But last year, I'll be honest, I kind of wrecked my head in a few times. Every dart player knows about round robin. You start thinking about legs and what I need to win here. It's stupid, like, I should know better, to be honest. But I just forgot about that this week and just focused on simplifying, as I said a while ago. Just worry about your own game. The rest will look after itself then.
Well, Kieran, many congratulations on winning here at the Super Series. Very quickly, make your final thoughts and observations of the week.
Yeah, I thought it's been certainly one of the best weeks I've done. Great to see Kieran pick up another title, especially the gap in between titles, and I wish him all the best for the rest of the year, and certainly for Champions Week. I can't wait.
Well, I'll see you again soon, Kieran. We're going to see you at Champions League. Many congratulations tonight. And we're going to see you again on Monday morning from 9:30 on the Super Series YouTube channel, when we head into the final third of our qualification phase here in Series 8. And we're going to see a 2-time world champion in action. But from us here, thank you so much for watching. And as far as Week 8 is concerned, it's Teehan who's top of the tree.
Game
double 8.
Game
Oh
shot
my,
the
what a
first
start
leg.
to this one.
Daniel Lee.
He's praying. The toss is found, and it is.
Rob Collins.
Like 1,001 team. Oh, you beauty.
Taking out on day 1 to win his fixture. And what a way to start the day for Sebastian Bialetsky.
Tops the 4-0.
Oh, how about that?
Game shot of the fifth leg.
Classic Michelin.
Mitchell.
What that means to him.